It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hello there.
Shut up and take my money.
NANI?
Yeah, boy.
Let me smash.
Nope.
I like turtle.
Wrong house, fool! Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Ah! Got him!
Listen.
Take off this fuck, fool!
We need some milk.
Just do it!
Hello, motherfucker. Hello, nose chicken.
Do you understand that?
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
お前はもう死んでいる。
Why do you have to be mad?
Nice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clueless Internet podcast. I'm your host, Alex. I'm joined once again, surprisingly after all this time, by my wonderful co-host, Howard.
Hello.
He's kind of here. He's in a jar. His head's in a jar. It's a little bit of an awkward setup. We've got him kind of stacked on a load of books, and it's coming up to feeding time, so he could get a little bit restless. But we are back after, I think, what is it, like
Some months.
I think April was our last episode, and that was the Snyder Cut episode.
Yeah.
And then we had a secret missed episode that we recorded but never got released, which,
I've still got the audio somewhere.
who knows, send us emails about if you want to
Send us
see
anything.
it. Just please, get me out. But we're back with another week of facts, fakes, and fuck-ups. Howard, you got any final words for our intro?
A good intro. Clean.
Thank you. Right. Well, let's get into it.
It's all sticky.
Sit down and shut up. Today, Shut up. Shut up. Sit down, be quiet. Shut up.
Okay, Howard, welcome to our first section. Today I learned. I'm going to give you... I've got four.
Count them.
I'm trying. We've got 4 facts for you today. I'll let you pick which one we start with. I've got today I learned coming back with a TV when you went to buy milk isn't so bad. I've secondly got today I learned determination has no limits. And then third is today I learned some drinks are really that good. And then my last one is today I learned about the long way round invasion. Which one would I'll
Number 2, there was something about a Terminator.
so determination? The Determinator. Yes, we can start with that one. Most certainly. Well, for this one, we're jumping over to the sunny Brazil, where we meet our main protagonist, Freddy Krueger. Now, that might be a familiar name to anyone who has seen
Never heard of him.
movies of a kind where people have really long metal-y fingers and, well, out of their gloves, is it? Is Freddy Krueger the one where he
Edward
has...
Scissorhands.
Yes. Edward Scissorhands. Freddy Scissorhands. But
Fredwood.
instead of Fredwood Scissorhands. Fredwood Sharp Finger Man.
Squidward. Squidward Scissorhands.
Oh, unfortunately, this one isn't about any of those.
No.
It's about a parrot
Parrot.
who was given that name after being severely injured, unfortunately. And do you want to have a guess what sort of injury, how the injury occurred, why the injury occurred, who the injury is?
I know a common injury with birds in captivity is beak issues with cages, where they get their beaks ripped off. Happens a lot.
Okay, you're on the right line
Or
of
gets torn.
You're on the right line of the beak. It was damaged, but it was a bit more of an aggressive way than a cage. It was during a shootout between police and gangsters.
And the parrot.
Between him and the parrot. You'll never take me alive. Right, so Freddy was living with the gangsters, and the police broke in during a drug raid, and bullets started to fly.
Oh, there was a drug raid going on, and then the police broke in as well.
Yeah, there was a drug raid going on, and then the police went, "Hey, that's my line!" And Freddy just started going, "I'm an undercover cop, man. God." But he unfortunately was caught in the crossfire. He was unfortunately shot in the beak, removing most of the top section of his beak. In the shoot,
did he get to have a cool metal plate with like spikes on it that you can like hit things with?
I wish. Well, the people that look after him probably don't wish that, but yeah, no, I wish. I totally wish.
I would totally have given him a metal plated beak cover with like spikes.
I would do the thing where I think it was in SpongeBob, the live action pirate who was in some specials. He had like a robot parrot, and it had just like a beaming red eye, and I would do that.
In a second.
Did I just technically admit to murdering a parrot? Hypothetically.
Not if it lives.
Not if it is it live. Right. So this is a quote. So in the shootout, Freddy was hit in the upper beak, blinded, and suffered burns to the feathers that grew between the eyes. That was Brazil. That was from a Brazilian newspaper called.
Oh, bastard.
Okay. I'm just little side note for everyone here. If you've never listened to this podcast before, my pronunciation skills are really off the chain.
All the streams,
so good.
All the stream for that matter.
All the stream. Just listen to me talk. You'll hear me mess up words left, right, and centre. It's fine.
Ref, light, and centre.
Ref, Drighton, Blenter. Little throwback to a previous episode. Odentoma.
Odentoma.
So this was from Brazilian newspaper Folha de Sao Paulo. Got it. First time.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. To which he found a lovely... to which he found a lovely home. He found a home at the Zoological Municipal de Cascavel 6 years ago. So this article that I'm reading was written 4 years ago, but obviously now it's 6
so
years
even
ago.
they were behind the times. See, we're not the only ones.
Exactly. We're so far behind, it's cool. And and everyone lived happily ever... Kind of, or well, so you thought. This is a relatively short one.
Everyone but the parrot lived happily.
Everyone but the parrot lived.
Oh,
happily ever after. So in early April 2019, it saw Freddy getting involved in a little bit more shit again, where he was bitten.
What was he up to now?
Well, he was bitten on the leg by a snake.
Oh,
Luckily for Freddy, though, and my heart, the snake was not venomous, so Freddy just had some sweet fucking scars.
Toxic masculine.
So now he has a bionic leg. He has a bionic leg and a bionic
That
beak.
work in tandem.
Yes. Basically, we're going to just...
When he lifts his leg, his mouth goes...
It's a feature, not a bug. So after profuse bleeding, it had stopped and he went back on the mend. And he lived happily ever... for a few days. He lived happily for a few days.
And then he went and picked a fight with a possum.
Muhammad Ali. He was actually stolen by 3 armed robbers who overpowered the guard, made him lie on the floor. Not
Why
Freddy.
did they really want this bird?
I think in certain parts of the world, parrots are very valuable. Exotic birds. I'm pretty sure it's pretty valuable.
As much as I love this bird, it's my new best friend. That's a pretty fucked up parrot that they're trying to steal. It's like the least valuable parrot on the market.
What the fuck are you saying it? It's getting a mention on the Clueless Internet podcast. This is the most expensive bird on the planet now. They
Get the fucked up bird. Put it in the
Get that
bed.
one. They made the guard lie down, not the parrot. They made the guard lie down and broke into the storeroom where Freddy and another unnamed parrot lived. A blurred out faced parrot lived. But
We've disguised his voice so you can't understand him. Squawk.
They stole the 2 parrots and a gas canister for good measure. But Freddy said, "Fuck that noise," and showed up 2 days later at the bottom of a pine tree next to his cage.
Oh.
He's a bit of a wild one. Leia Detoni said, a zoo vet said, I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
Detoni's a vet.
Detoni, Datoni, Distoni. Detoni thinks that the deformed beak may have led to Freddy being let go. I don't know if Freddy is really unlucky or really lucky. I guess we'll never know until... I don't know what, like... So, It turns out it was actually a 43-year-old man dressed as a parrot that everyone just... What? So the second parrot and the gas can are yet to be found. So potentially rest in peace, unnamed parrot. We'll remember you with your only soundbite.
Squawk.
Right, may you rest in feathers. And as far as I'm aware today, Freddy is actually living happily ever after, as far as I'm aware now. But
with a big hole in his face.
But yeah, with just a big hole in his face. But don't count it out, because we're taking a trip to Brazil for the next episode, and we're going to borrow Freddy. But as I say,
if he doesn't shoot us
from his metal beak. But I won't rule him out breaking into North Korea next at all. And that is the end of our first fact. The
Freshender. The first story.
The parendo. I'm going to move on to today I learned coming back with a TV when you went out for milk isn't too bad.
Did it cost the same amount as the milk?
God, this would be a fucking pricey milk.
I'm surprised that you went for the pricey milk and not the dirt cheap TV.
Well, you know it's trash if it just shows 1 pixel.
It's just milk.
It's just milk in the TV. You want to buy it? 1 pixel on milk. So this article was written in 2015. So, you know, yeah. Our story begins not in 2015, but in 1915.
Oh.
On September the 21st.
Well, this was a centennial article.
To be completely exact. With a man by the name of Cecil Chubb.
Cecil Chubb?
Yes.
Ooh,
Or
yes.
Bean. Who's out at the Palace Theatre, which was opened in Redditch in 1913. So
this is a lie. This isn't Perth.
Where am I? Am I drunk again? God damn. I'll take it. Which today is primarily used for, you might want to take a seat, for a theatre, a cinema, a roller skating rink, and a bingo hall.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. You have to be on the skates, watching a movie, explaining what is happening while also shouting, bingo! Every now and again. It
sounds like a screening of the
It's
room.
a hell of a time. Don't do drugs, kids. And it seems that in 1915 it was also used as an auction house. So this place was like brand new when this happened. So Cecil was sent out. Cecil. I'm going to slip up on that. I'm going to slip up on Cecil. Cecil was sent by his wife to buy a set of dining room chairs, as we all have, waiting patiently for a glimpse of some luxury dining room furniture. Lot 15 rolled around. This was a sought-after 30-acre plot of land in Wiltshire, which was up for auction.
That's the same thing as furniture.
I could put a chair on that.
Now I just need a chair.
Oh, my plans.
This is all getting too complicated.
Does this land come with a chair? I'll take it. So this land was up for offer by Sir Edmund Antrobus's estate. I think that's how you say it. Antrobus's. Antrobus's. Odentum.
Odendorm.
After it went under, after their estate went under months after. I put as after he did, but I mean after he died. After he did the dying.
At first he died. Now he did.
And now he did the deal. So the bidding opened at £5,000, which, do you want to hazard a guess at how much that is in today's currency, in today's horrible currency? 539,816 pounds. Estimated wise. The article said at the time that, I'll get to it. But there were no bidders initially. Then, surely someone will offer me £5,000. The auctioneer piped up. That sounds like the dude from IT Crowd. The auctioneer piped up with no one moved. No one moved at the first £5,000. Weirdly, after a few moments, bidding started and slumped again at 6,000. Now, this is where the article said that 6,000 is worth $1 million.
Yeah.
But if my maths is right, then if 5,000 is 500,000, I think that's more roughly like 600,000 to 700,000.
Math never was Cecil's strongest point.
Neither was getting dining room chairs. Then the auctioneer piped up again. Gentlemen, it is impossible to value this land. I don't know how much it's worth.
Even though I just asked for $5,000.
No, give me 7. Basically, I'm saying it's a shit land, so give me 7.
That's maybe $1 million. It's confusing these
It's confusing.
days.
I'm in the future. My brain is in 2015, where we have flying horses and houses that dig themselves underground. Surely 6,000 is poor bidding. But if no one bids me any more, I shall set it at this price. Will no one give me any more than 6,000 for this plot of land? Then, Howard, just like your favorite anime, Death Note, Cecil shot his hand up and lodged in a bid for. And I don't know why he lodged in a bid. He
Did he go too high?
Cecil, the fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I take it. He's like, he just 6,001. 6,002. He just keeps putting his hand up every time he hears somebody go for one more. For some reason, so the bidding stopped at 6,000, but for some reason, Cecil, the fucking genius, stood up and went 6,600, and just put up 600 out of nowhere, which would be about 100 odd grand, like for no reason. You could have probably put like a 10 grand, a pound or something up. After a moment of no more bidding, the gavel hit the table, as did the auctioneer, and the auction was over. But Cecil had not just bought 30 acres of land instead of some dining room chairs. Oh, no.
He bought 30 acorns on some land.
And it's private land, so as soon as he gets
tiny
out...
square.
Yeah. Cecil, do you want to have a guess what
30
Cecil...
acorns?
Do you want to have a guess what Cecil actually just bought? Do you want to hazard a guess at what Cecil may have just bought?
30 acres, I'm going to guess of like bogland or marshland or something.
No.
Stuff you can't build on. 30 acres of ocean? What am I going to do with this? 30 acres of the sky?
Now, how do I get chairs up there?
My wife's going to be miffed.
Look, honey, it's going to be worth millions in the future. Look, I'm telling you. It's like the crypto bros going home and saying, babe, shitcoins going to the moon. So Cecil had actually just bought Stonehenge.
Oh.
After going in for dining room chairs.
So they're kind of like chairs. I mean, you can sit on them.
Kind of.
Kind of. If you just arch your back like this.
I accidentally knocked that one over. So being born only 3 miles away from the Great Monument, Cecil said to the local paper at the time, I did actually get a quote, so I shall read it in Cecil's 100% accurate voice. He had no intention of buying the monument when he entered the Palace Theatre. Who does? Who does?
I came here for chairs.
And now I got big chairs. But much like you or I may pick up a dairy milk or some gum at the checkout, he bought it on a whim. While I was in the room, I thought the something man. No, I'll give him a proper voice. While I was in the room, I thought Salaryman ought buy it, and then how it was done.
Sylvester Stallone
So
with
he had
a
a
Yorkshire
stroke.
accent there.
He did. So he had a stroke mid-interview. So what he actually said was, while I was in the room, I thought a Salisbury man ought to buy it. And that is how it was done. I paid 600 more than anyone was willing to pay.
And I didn't even need to.
I just wanted to T-pose on all of those paws. Now, Stonehenge, I mean, it's a bit fucked up today, but it was
pristine.
It was
in
super fucked up.
1915.
There was a Banksy on the one. There was like just piss all up the other one. It was called the Piss Rock, and this is all fake.
Rock off piss.
So let's have a look at why that was, shall we? So it had only been privately owned since King Henry VIII, friend of the Necks, after he confiscated it from the Benedictine Abbey around 1540. So ever since 1540, it had been privately owned.
Yeah.
So somebody could say, no, those rocks are mine. You can have the
Don't
ones.
touch my rocks.
You can have the
Stop
ones
it.
30 acres away, but these ones are mine. So you just see somebody like trying to pull it over on like a sack on the shoulder, like sneaking away like a little
Stop!
brother.
That's my rock.
Put it back. But that had not stopped a plethora of curious visitors who came armed with chisels, who regularly
What?
took little bits of the rock home with them.
Okay.
You know how people are assholes. I mean,
Yeah.
adventurers, TikTokers.
I went all the way to Salisbury, and all I got was this bit of flint.
But like, and other people just simply like etch their name into the rock.
Bastards.
You know, which I'm pretty sure we're covered because Howard and Alex are probably on there already somewhere. Probably Alex is
My name
stupid.
probably was more common back then, so yeah. Probably
So yeah.
somewhere.
Oh shit, Alex probably isn't on there. Damn it.
No, Alexander's a. Oh no,
Yeah,
you're not
Alexander.
It's not your full name, is it?
I don't think Alexander's my full name.
Is yours just Alex on your birth
I
certificate?
don't know.
Oh. Because obviously you can just be named Alex, but obviously it's short for
Hello,
Alexander.
I'm Mr. Alex. And your full name? I
Hey,
don't know. My leg!
Excuse me.
So the stone structure fell in 1990 with one of the Saracens, which is an upright stone, and one of the lintel stones, which I think is the horizontal
Yeah.
ones.
Are they like Latin words for like horizontal?
I think so. So they went boom. They went bang.
Oh,
I
I was just getting to know them as well.
said in 1990. I'm pretty sure I meant to put 1900.
Oh.
Fact check me on that. Get back to me. Don't correct me. I think it's 1900. That's a little bit late for that.
Yeah.
So the wooden beams that have been there to like hold them up, just they didn't stand a chance.
Rotted away.
So back to the Antrobuses the
Yes.
family who owned Stonehenge in the early 1800s. The following year had put a fence around it. So in 1901, they put a fence around it.
Yeah.
I think you're with me so far.
Yes.
And they started charging 1 shilling. Now I don't actually know how much 1 shilling was worth at that time, but I looked on eBay and they're going for 10 quid. So make what you will of that. 10 quid to see from fucking rocks. And so this was to pay for guards and restoration and stuff like, because shit.
Yeah, old money's weird because they didn't use decimal. So like,
Assholes.
it was just random amounts. Like they're all just really
This
weird
bread
random amounts.
is a cacophony.
Yeah, basically.
A what? Your right leg, man.
Just give it.
Come on. And because of this, a year later, the Druids. Now, if you don't know who Druids are, do you know who? I'm assuming you know who the Druids.
Yes, they would have been the pagan. I don't think it was a religion. It was more of like a
It's like ancient Celtic
way of life kind of thing.
culture.
Yeah,
So they're
they were like
high-ranking
people.
class. they're the wizards, but not the dickhead wizards
Yeah.
who like go around and light crosses on fire. They're the
Oh, the grand wizards, the American wizards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not the Gandalf.
Yeah, they
but the jack off.
I don't know. They took the wrong message from Harry Potter.
Yeah. Oh god, they watched that film on something. So a druid is a member of the high-ranking class in the ancient Celtic cultures. Druids were religious leaders as well as legal authorities, which, as we know from history, goes really well together. They're adjudicators, lawkeepers, medical professors, and political advisors. Just to name a few. That's just one person. That's one. There's one druid.
That's his full name.
His name is Druid Druidson. But according Druids left no written accounts. So that's the Wikipedia little bit. You'll notice during this episode I copied a few little Wikipedia tidbits. So apparently they left no written accounts. So we'll never know. Also,
Everything was passed on through audio cassette.
Also, weirdly enough, my parents never left any written record that I was actually the king of Spain. So
Or whether your full name is Alex or Alexander.
it's all up in the air at this point. So if Spain could get back to me on that, that would be great.
Yeah, Spain, what's my name? Bitch.
Alejandro.
Ooh.
They had put a curse on the monument's owners, the Arquebuses, after banning their annual solstice. Is it solstice or solstice?
Solstice, yeah.
Solstice. Isosceles. Celebrations there. So ancient druids are believed to have not held their celebrations at Stonehenge, actually. I think that's just like modern druids celebrate it there. So if you're a modern druid, write in. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, the stones predate like the pagan. Is it pagans that were druids? I can't remember, but it predates most civilizations. They're very, very old, and the rocks are all the way from Wales.
Oh, fucking hell! Long way to drag.
Exactly.
That was the name of one of RuPaul's drag races.
Long way to drag.
So yeah, if you're a druid, write in. We'd love to hear from it. We'd love to get you on the.
No, they don't leave the written record.
Do they have? Oh, sorry, they don't leave.
Send it on audio cassette.
Yeah, we can send it on audio cassette, and we won't actually release it as an audio clip. We'll just like make noises.
We'll throw it in the lake and wait for the.
We'll put it in a
for
bottle.
the lady of the lake to.
And the lady of the lake will pick up the bottle and drink it, and she will
relay your message.
Spread the message to pigeons that will spread it to the
squirrels.
Yeah. So if you don't know, the spring. So I'll go over the spring equinox is where the day and night are basically equal, marking the start of spring. Summer solstice is the longest day of the year, marking the start of summer. Autumn equinox is where the day and night are equal, marking the start of autumn. And winter solstice, everybody, the shortest day of the year, marking the start of winter. Well done, give yourselves a pat on the back if you followed along with that arbitrary bullshit.
Give yourselves a pat on each back.
On each of your buttocks. So, I mean, you can believe what you want about this. You know, they cursed him. But later, the head of the Arquebuses' family... so I believe I looked at the Arquebuses and...
The Arquebusai?
The Arquebusai. The Arquebusai clan... and I think this was Sir Edmund Antrobus, I think. The fourth Baronet. Oh, I already mentioned that, didn't I? Didn't I already mention that? Give me a sec, guys. I'm just fucking... My brain. Wait. Bear with me. I'm trying to go through all my stupid notes. Oh, yeah, no, Edmund. Yeah, I already wrote Edmund, so I just did pointless research for no reason. Right, Edmund, yeah. So Edmund, the fourth Baronet, who was born in 1848, lost his only son after the
Where is he?
The curses.
Where did I put that child?
Oh, in the grave.
Not again.
And you know what that means? Cutting the head off of the snake. That inheritance goes bye-bye. And so Edmund later died in 1915, aged 67, during World War One, leaving the family to Sir, and this is a great name, Sir Cosmo Gordon Antrobus, the fifth Baronet, who was born in 1859.
One more time?
The
name, one more time?
It was Sir Cosmo Gordon Antrobus.
Fucking hell, my name.
Antrobus. You wouldn't catch him in fucking Asda, would you? The fifth Baronet.
No, Waitrose, darling.
They're not even Waitrose, M&S. And they come to me.
I get all my groceries from M&M. Directly.
I'm not even going to try. And so he was born in 1859. I think this was the brother of Edmund. This was Edmund's brother, Cosmo.
Cosmo.
Cosmopolitan.
Cosmetologist.
Cosmo Druid.
Just every sentence he starts with Cosmo.
It's kind of weird though, because Edmund, lost his son to Cosmo, so technically it Cosmo's son.
When did we get into a Marvel
film? About 5 paragraphs ago. When he bought fucking Stonehenge for no reason. Yeah. We entered Tony Stark's storyline. I'll take it. But Stonehenge wasn't for him to have, as Edmund's wife had put it up for auction, which brings us back to our man Thethel. And
almost forgot about him.
And his not too pleased wife, who still wanted those dining room chairs to this very day. But in 1918, Cecil gifted the monument to the British people. Yes!
Finally!
So technically we can go back with our chisels and get a piece. It's technically ours now. Just
I pay my taxes.
I pay my taxes as well. And
Give me my bit of Stonehenge.
I think if they gave me the option, would I rather my tax money go to Boris Johnson blathering about fucking Peppa Pig World, or get little just pieces of
I think they should divide
historic bits?
They should divide Stonehenge up equally between the residents of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for my dust in the post.
Because then we can do something with the land instead of just pretending that those stones that someone left there by.
And like 30 acres, we could put loads of shit around that.
Yeah.
Put like a water park, man.
We should just build it again, but bigger. Like 5 times
Like
the size.
leave the original one there,
Out of
but
steel.
build it bigger.
Out of steel and glass. And put houses inside it.
Now you're thinking like a big brain. Right. Yeah, so then we do that, but then what you have to do as well is you have to put them again outside 5 times bigger than the 5 times bigger one, but they're made out of paper mache, and that's just to assert dominance on like the other countries, because they can see it. From,
Oh, yeah. It's a giant T in the sky.
Yeah, it's just a bit like there's all giant T's around the thing, and then unfortunately that attracts Trump, so we have to just tear them down. So he says, Stonehenge is perhaps the best known and most interesting of our national monuments. Which is probably
It's
right.
most interesting because of how mysterious it is, because we don't know much about it, because, again, written records of when it was actually put there too far back, and then throughout history you had illiterate people who didn't write records, so it's like, the chance of us ever knowing exactly what it was there for, I don't think we'll ever know.
Thanks, Druids. You write in if you want. And has always appealed strongly to the British imagination. I can't say I agree with him there. It's right. It's squares.
The amount of stories in
rectangles.
movies that revolve around Stonehenge is one of the most boring. Like, as cool as Stonehenge is, it's literally just a pile of rocks.
It's stones.
But people, like, literally, it's been in everything. Doctor Who had an episode where, like, Stonehenge had a reason for existing, and it's like, it's rocks in a field.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's been in the Mission Impossible movies as well, I think.
I think it's been in most, and any franchise that's had to go more than a few years has at some point gone to Stonehenge.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where James Bond was conceived.
Wait, Daniel Craig? Or...
Yes.
To me, who was born close to it, and during my, I literally thought that said during my boyfriend, during my boyhood and youth, visited it at all hours of the day and night. A little bit of a sad childhood you had there, friend. Under every conceivable condition of weather. I think that this wasn't a mistake that he bought Stonehenge. It's like going every day, every weather. In driving tempests of hail, rain, and snow, fierce thunderstorms, glorious moonlight, and beautiful sunshine, it always has had an inexpressible charm. Let me clean myself. It's, oh God. I became owner of it with a deep sense of pleasure. And
Dirty.
And had contemplated that it might remain a cherished possession of my family for long years to come. It has, however, been pressed upon me, probably by the multiple people like knocking on his window going, "Where's the stones back, you prick? Go away."
These are best stones.
Those are my rocks now. Been pressed upon me that the nation would like to have it for its own and would prize it most highly, which the British government responded by setting up an extensive renovation in 1919, which included straightening of the stones and resetting the concrete. It's like them getting the Leaning Tower of Pisa and going, just pushing it back.
Literally one day, just a guy turned up with a ruler and just.
It's a little out, mate. And removed anything that doesn't look like the ancient site. So roads and facilities and stuff, they just ripped them out.
Cans and
People.
Animals.
No, they left the animals there. The animals are cool to roam and chisel away as they please. Cecil received the title of first Baronet of Stonehenge, but locals dubbed Sir Cecil, and I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure he pronounces Viscount Stonehenge or Viscount Stonehenge.
Viscount, I think. Yeah.
And I don't know why they call him the Viscount.
The Viscount.
Ha ha.
Oh.
Wait.
They were just being mean. They were saying the Viscount.
Oh, he gave it back after like 5 years
It
of.
was cool. I can get down with that hill.
Yeah, I like Cecil. He went to buy chairs, bought Stonehenge. I fuck with that.
Gave it back to a country.
Yeah.
Gave us back our heritage.
Give us back our rocks.
Oh, God damn it.
Thank you.
Oh, the patient.
When he died in 1934, he said in his donation letter that the local people should go free. And 30,000...
But don't touch the rocks.
They're mine. and 30,000... I did put... Apparently, I wrote too many zeros and I accidentally put 300,000, but 30,000 of the annual 1.3 million visitors got to do so for that low, low price of free. All thanks to that last-minute checkout purchase. Thank you, Cecil. I appreciate you for buying
For
something
doing the
that I've
thing.
never
You
been.
you did that thing. You did it really good.
You did. You did.
Well done, Cecil.
You do want to go, little boy. Right, so my next one is, today I learned some drinks are really that good. So, sometimes the party just has to go on. That's where Polish man by the name of Kami comes into the picture.
Okay.
Or Kami.
Camille.
The 25-year-old Waza. I didn't put a space between was and a. I haven't done this for a while. Please forgive me. Waza. Where was I? The 25-year-old was a partying machine in Kamina Gora, in Poland.
Okay.
I think. Drinking a less than conservative amount of vodka, as you do.
Wonder what the conservative amount is in Eastern Europe.
Probably 2 bottles. That's probably a conservative amount. Which I salute for being party animals. I love it. So this...
Give me a liberal amount.
You,
Put it to my eyes.
you want the whole bar. Look.
Did I stutter?
Yes, you're slurring and stuttering and you're headbutting
Well, that's
the
because
thing.
the world is flashing now. Give me a drink.
Now give me 7.
Of what? Yes.
Yes. So this very quickly caught up to him, however, with some eyewitnesses saying that they saw him stumble outside and onto the pavement.
Also, some ear witnesses.
And some mouth witnesses. And nose
I
witnesses.
just tasted a man as he fell over.
I
It was
licked
very
his
weird.
leg as he fell. Momentum.
Yes, I did. I heard that.
I'm really weird, by the way. As a passerby tried to aid Cammy, an ambulance was called to help him. Later in hospital, they attempted to revive him, but failed.
Goodbye. What was his name?
Cammy.
Goodbye, Camille.
He was
You
pretty...
were missed. Will be missed.
Yeah, you will be missed by everyone of this podcast. Everyone press Fs in the chat that you're in right now. Bye. He was pronounced dead due to a cardiac arrest. Taken to the morgue, whacked on a tray, and bloop, slid into a fridge. But
And it's a big butt.
he has a big butt. It's a big butt. That is workplace harassment. But unlike most other residents of the morgue, Cammy was not about to become a permanent fixture.
Just a temporary one.
Yeah, because they threw him in the incinerator 10 minutes later. From within the morgue, Cammy became every morgue security guard's worst nightmare. A zombie! Well, kind of. They heard rattling and banging coming from the fridge. The unnamed security guard, which for reasons that I agree with,
He's just never named
has
at
been that's his name.
Yep.
Unnamed. Hello, my name's unnamed.
Unnamed
Security.
security guard. That was his full name.
Yeah, security is his middle name, literally.
After my grandfather.
Milkman.
Securitas.
Guard. What a bouncer. That's his granddad's middle name. I was sure it was a burglary. Young people sometimes break into the morgue. Why?
Well, they're
Why don't they just break into somewhere
to
cool?
get closer to death. They're too young.
They just want to know what it feels like.
Gross.
But the sound came from the refrigerators. With shaking hands, I opened one of the doors.
It
And
was
there
me
I-
rattling the door. What's the shaking noise?
Are you awake? Is this one free?
You eat that.
And there I found a naked corpse, as you would normally, who asked me for a blanket.
Ooh, what?
Usually they just ask me to stop. Oh! Now, Cammy was adamant to go home, but was told no.
No, you're a zombie. Get back in the cage.
Dunk, dunk, dunk.
Stupid zombie.
We marked you as dead. Now get back in there. They needed to check him out before they could uncharacteristically...
Yeah, he looks all right.
You got all your legs.
Let me check you out here.
Oh, 3 testicles. Nice. Oh, you got that
Hey,
from
where's
next door?
mine?
Oh, thank you. Click.
Got your balls.
Oh! So they needed to check him out before they uncharacteristically sent him home from the morgue. Checked him out of the morgue. But it wasn't long before the doctors deemed him okay and sent him back out on his way. Now,
Turns out you're just really, really drunk.
turns out just so drunk, I died and came back. What a day.
Now let's get drunk.
Now, I'm hoping they let him out with more than just a blanket. I hope they didn't just, like, incinerate his
Where are my
clothes.
clothes? Oh, we gave them to another corpse.
Just like the
He
doctor.
was cold.
The doctor comes out in it. Oh, this is awkward. Now that Cammy had just beaten death, he walked home, quit his day job, moved to Tibet and became a Buddhist.
Oh, Tibet? Tibet.
Tibet. What did I say?
It sounded like you said Tibet. It was like a mix between
Oh,
Dubai
sorry.
and Tibet.
Tibet and became a Buddhist. Later, leaving the temple he had spent 15 years in, and went on to build 15 schools, 17 hospitals, and even began to run for office in Tibet.
Okay.
Well, that's what would have happened if he had gone home, potentially. Instead, he decided to go back out on the lash. Let's.
Let's.
And to this day, Cammy is in a perpetual cycle of dying and not dying every weekend. Or
It's just what he does.
you know,
It's just his thing, man.
look, he's
Saturday
dead.
night he's dead. Sunday morning up on his feet.
What a legend. Oh no, it's Sunday and he's still dead.
Oh.
Well, you know, he could have been cutting back a little bit. One can hope. But probably not. You know,
Sorry, Juan.
let's be realistic. And now, the longest one of the Today I Learned, and welcome to your worst nightmare. Today I learned about the long way round invasion. Howard, do you remember long time ago where we talked about the solo invasion?
Solo invasion. Oh, yes.
Yes. Do you remember that well?
Han Solo, all on his own. Dagobah.
Went into Sark, I think it was, and went and got arrested immediately. Do you remember that
He
one?
shot first.
Who? Me. No, I shot second. That has nothing to do with that. So, so born in Ringerike, Norway. That's probably not how
Ragnarok.
you say it.
Gotcha.
Ringerike, Norway, in 1015 or 1016. It's a little bit dodgy. Was our Viking friend Harold Hardrada.
Harold Hardrada.
Harold Hardrada, or in Old Norse, Haraldur Sigurdsson.
Sure.
Sigurdsson.
Sounds good.
Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson.
I'm Scottish.
Odin Toma.
Odin Toma.
Odin Toma. His chieftain father, Sigurd Sire, was from the rich north, past Oslo, and even claimed to be a descendant of the great ruler Harold Fairhigh.
He was a Yeti.
Or Fairhair. I think it's Fairhair or Fairhigh. I'm consistently missing out letters today.
That's okay.
Thank you, friend. Don't let it happen again.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh. So, Harold, not our Harold, but the Harold of Harold before.
From really high up north.
From really high up north, but really old north and really back of the way.
Past Oslo.
Was considered the first king of Norway. And these claims were apparently made after our Harold's lifetime as a way to kind of explain parts
All
of
the
his
mad
life.
shit he did.
Yeah. Though Harald's half-brother, Olaf, was the nominal king of Norway by 1015, so his half-brother Olaf was king at the time of his birth, around the time of his birth, potentially. He was 1, potentially 0, we'll never know. After being supported by 5 petty chieftain. Now, that's in quotation marks, but I don't really know
Doesn't
why...
mean they were just like really passive-aggressive dickheads.
Yeah, like, well, you can be king, but like,
really want, I mean, if you
God,
really want to,
like,
you know,
fuck, I can do
would-
it,
yeah,
but you know, I just don't want to because
you know,
fucking Olaf. No, yeah, you can be king. Oh, you're right, Olaf. That's what they do when they come. It's like the whole thing where like people will talk behind the back and be like, "Oh, what a fucking dickhead," and then as soon as they come in the room, "Oh, hi."
oh, you do make me all laugh.
Oh gosh. Thank you. So we skip some years to 1029 into the future.
The future past.
Oh my god, my brain. Harold and his family were going head to head with the King Canute of Denmark. Now, let me just say, the person who wrote this article, if you're listening to this podcast, please...
Is it actually that his name's just King Nut?
No, it's Canute.
King Nut.
I think it's spelled King Nut. We can call him King Nut from now on if you want.
Yeah.
King Canute. So if the person who's writing this article reads this, or anyone is in contact with the person who wrote this, I'm pretty sure that you wrote it as King Cunt in the article, and I had to Google it to make sure that it was right because that was so hilariously great. And unfortunately, it was not. But we can call him King Nut from now. King Nut of Denmark, who had taken the crown of Norway because Olaf couldn't put up a fight.
He wanted it.
Well, yeah, kind of.
It's mine now.
It's a very nice headpiece. Thanks.
This is your crown.
This is my crown.
My crown.
Instead of taking the crown, he just takes Olaf and puts him on his head instead.
Double king. Yeah.
Well, yeah, technically he was double king. Now he's king of Norway and Denmark. So he'd taken the crown from Olaf, who couldn't put up a fight, thanks to his nobleman being bribed by Nut. I realised I said that. Canute. Canute. And let me I read this and I get it now, but at the time I was like, what? Because he tended to apprehend their wives for sorcery. That's from the wiki, as to why Olaf was, because they just mentioned that Canute took the crown from him, but they didn't really mention it why, so I had to research it on the wiki. And apparently it's because his noblemen were bribed and because he kept taking the noblemen's wives. And, like...
So he was a bit of a...
What I read at first was that he was taking their wives to commit sorcery on them, but I think it's more
This
of
is just olden days language for banging. Yeah.
No, I think it means more that he just goes, "She's a witch, die." I think it's more like that. It's more like that. It could be wrong. If I am wrong, Olaf.
Less interesting.
Olaf, write in if I am wrong.
I thought it meant old time orgies.
No, it's not that exciting. That's where King Nut comes in.
Nerd.
This caused some tension, understandably, between the family and the Canutes, new backers. So Olaf was exiled from Norway. However, Olaf returned in 1030 with a plan to return and take back his crown. With Harold, collecting 600 men to support them, they met up and did the Battle of Stickelstad.
They did do the Battle of Skickelstad.
They did the Battle of Stickelstad.
Of Skittles bad.
They whacked Skittles at each other for an hour. On the 29th of July, 1030.
In the morning. Foggy.
Oh god, yeah, it was an early war. It probably was at that time.
What year?
1030. But what year?
Yes, but what? Yeah. I was going to do the bit, and then I got bored halfway through the first.
Do you want to have a guess how that particular Skittle battle went?
Strikes.
Yeah, that's right. Olaf died, and Harold was badly injured. In short, they lost. So, because of his age and injury, there wasn't much Harold could do anymore after that. But he found himself a secluded farm in eastern Norway. After a month or so of resting up there, he made his way north across the Swedish mountains.
So he just wandered into a farm that was...
I don't know the
like an
logistics
abandoned
of it,
farm
but I
village.
assume he was kind of well known in Norway. So like maybe it was a supporters farm, and he kind of just turned up and like coughed up blood on the front porch, and they went, "Oh, it's Harold.
It's Spurble.
Come in.
Harold.
You can milk the children, Judge."
Oh, but no.
That nearly sounded like I said the children. I did not. Just to clarify, I did
I
not.
said the Wilder desk.
My wife.
Yes.
My wife. After I apologize.
You better.
I will.
Eventually.
Finally, a year after the battle that fucked him up in the first place, he made it to Kievan Rus.
Oh, Kevin Roos.
Yes. Possibly by arriving at the town of Staraya Ladoga or Aldegjuborg.
I'll diggle by.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm only reading that once, so you take that.
Yes.
Rus was a loose federation of Russian. They were a loose federation of Slavic trading towns spread across Russia and Ukraine, ruled by the Rorik dynasty, who were originally Swedish, but had since mixed with the local populace. As you can't really avoid it, let's be honest.
We were originally Swedish, don't you know?
But look at me
Everyone else
now.
is like, I don't know what that is.
Good. Stabs her. You shall never know.
The secret is safe.
Basically, he's safe from the nut.
Oh, yes.
So the Grand Prince of Rus, Yaroslav the Wise, welcomed Harold with open arms because Olaf had taken refuge in Rus in his exile.
Taking his arms.
Here, have these arms.
I can't not welcome you with open arms ever since you took my arms.
He's like, oh, so that's why we lost. That's why he kept falling off his horse. I thought he looked different. Yaroslav went on to appoint Harold as one of his military captains. Given that the Rus army was in a sorry state, it had 3 men and like some kid that just swing a stick around. So they went, yeah, no.
They'd
He'll-
really upset the
he'll do.
locals, and they were really, really sorry.
Yeah, they really upset
Really
the
sorry
locals,
state.
killed them all, and then had no army to
They
run
were
with.
really sorry.
Like kind of
Like so
three
sorry.
3/4 of them were sorry, at best.
Like they almost frowned.
Almost, and you know
Yeah.
what that means. A sorry state of an army. He took to his role very well, despite being fucked up in his first ever battle. Fighting.
Just dived straight on into that role.
Oh yeah, proper, just like. Ow! 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 Ow!
My arms.
The cheese, get it. He fought the Poles, the Estonian Chuds. I think it's Chuds. I don't want to say Chuds.
Chads.
The Estonian Chads, and even some nomadic
Rose.
Pechennegs.
You want
Pechenegs.
to rephrase that?
Central Asia, like armies.
Yeah.
And he even tried to shack up with Yaroslav's daughter. Wink, wink. Elusive. To no success, though. After turning 20, he selected 500 followers, and they headed to the city of Constantinople. Constantinople. Jesus Christ.
Constantine.
Yeah,
Yes.
Constantine, the capital of the Roman/Byzantine Empire, which always sounds super impressive and would make for a fantastic setting in a cyberpunk-esque kind of anything.
But the Byzantines just the Romans, but rebranded.
I think so. Yeah, because yeah, I'm pretty sure. But they always make it sound so grandiose and like.
They had a reboot.
I'll have to like get some facts on Byzantine one of the days.
It's
Byzantine.
not as good as the original.
No, then.
I mean, they used to say all roads lead to Rome.
And now they
Now what
just
do they
say,
say?
now they all lead to Constantinople, and no one can say it. So
Istanbul, it's not Constantinople. Nobody's business but the Turks.
So, it is also known as the fabled Miklagard to the Vikings.
I prefer Constantinople.
For
It
some
sounds cool.
reason, Constantinople
It
sounds a bit
it
better than
bounces like up and down.
Milk God.
Midgard.
This long shot paid off though, as it got him and I think probably his followers employed as Varanian guards. I think it's Varanian. An
We
elite
have
unit
No idea what that means.
of Byzantine army. So they're an elite unit.
It sounds like they're made of metal.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like such a cool cyberpunky name. Welcome to Byzantine.
I have armor, yes, made of Byzantium.
Here is my daughter, made of Byzantium. And here's my wife, made of Byzantium.
This is my son, he's papier-mâché. Not sure what happened there.
And here's my wife, Staples. Throwback to an earlier episode.
Throwback to the 90s, just in general.
Throwback. So they're an elite unit of the Byzantine army, tasked with guarding the emperors.
And all the Byzantium.
No one else. Just the emperor.
Oh.
Just the emperors. Just them. No one else. Nope. This unit took him as far-flung as Iraq, where he fought off Arabian pirates. After he had reported capturing 80 Arabian strongholds, he made his way to Jerusalem to oversee a peace agreement between the Byzantine...
They weren't so strong after all.
They couldn't hold it for very long. Broke the seal. What the fuck? To oversee peace agreements between the Byzantine and the Fatimid Caliphate, North Africa, in 1036. After missions in both Sicily and Constantinople that got him the nickname Devastator of the Bulgarians.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he wasn't just like...
No, Devastator of the Bulgarians.
Harold...
Don't call him Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Harold, he's all right, and then you've got Harold, the Devastator of the Bulgarians.
How did the Bulgarians feel about it? Not good.
Devastated. I recommend reading that bit of the article. It's kind of interesting. He fights alongside someone called William Ironarm, and it's...
Why is with this story and the awesome names?
But it's not too important to the overall story. So
not important! He had an iron arm!
So short story of it, he's a badass now.
He's the Winter Soldier, for Christ's sake.
I think he may be the inspiration for Johnny Silverhand, in all honesty. So, in 1041, his patron emperor, Michael IV, was dead.
All right, I'm Mike.
The fourth, may be with you.
I'm the emperor of, that bit over there. And, back. You see that tree? Just over there.
Just a little bit further, there's a fence, and I don't quite get there, but it's in between. I've written my name on a little apple, and I've put it there, and I'm just hoping no one moves. If anyone moves it, I own more. I own more land.
Those stones, they're going to England. Yeah, don't want them anymore.
Yeah, I can see them from here. They're 5 times bigger than the originals.
I hate them. I don't even know what they are.
Is that paper mache? So he was dead, and a battle for power started between Michael V and Zoe. The
Mark and Zoe, lovely couple.
So Harold was imprisoned.
Of course he was. He's the Devastator.
Yeah, the Devastator of Bulgaria, and
you can't just go around devastating Bulgaria. Get in jail.
So he was in prison, and it depends on what source you go with. Depending on what source you go with,
ketchup.
The reason changes. I'm going home. I'm going home. This is your home now. So yeah, it depends on what source you go with, what article you go with, as to why he got arrested. So some of them have defrauding the emperor, some have defiling a noble woman, and some have murder. You know, the spectrum, the triangle.
Just devastating, defiling, and what was the other one?
Murdering.
I needed the extra D.
Oh, wink, wink. Well, if you're a noble woman, he may give it to you. Fuck. Fucking hell. Oh no. I apologise, unnamed noble woman that may or may not have been defiled.
That was a long
I hope you weren't Bulgarian. This, however, didn't stop Harold. He joined Zoe and toppled Michael V in Jenga. Just gently pushed him over, and he went, "Oh, you beat me!
Oh no!
Byzantine is yours." I'm taking the apple, though. Harold also supposedly blinded him for good measure. Supposedly, Howard. Supposedly.
So just,
we can't prove it. Do you have
over.
CCTV evidence?
Knocked him over just slightly, and then just
just like just like multiple times going.
Ah! How about you?
We bested him. Did you see that?
Nice one, Zoe.
Devastator of Bulgaria. Was he
Does
Bulgarian?
it again. Devastate your eyes, motherfucker.
He probably just went, "No, I'm Bulgarian." He just red. Just his eyes just went red. I can't let you be that, Michael. This led to the co-emperorship of Zoe and Constantine the Ninth, who just came out of the woodwork for no reason. Sure.
I was in the woodwork. I don't know how I got there.
I'm stuck. Get me out, Harold.
I was building a house, and then the next minute, you know, I'm in the woodwork.
Are you Bulgarian? No.
I mean, only a little.
Okay. Only a little. Just chops his arm off. That'll do.
Oh, gee, dude.
Sure. Can I be emperor now?
Devastating.
Joint. Oh, you have one? It didn't take long, though, for him to get on Zoe's bad side. So he headed back.
It was the right side.
To his. She was blind on that side. He blinded her. He mistook her for Michael V.
An eye for an eye or something.
You know. Can't have mine, though. So he headed back to his homeland of Norway. Zoe, however, didn't accept his leaving, so he had to escape via the Black Sea. He and his followers
Can't see anything.
It's so dark. He and his followers chose 2 ships for the escape. One ship was sunk, but not Harold's. He was away, returning to Kiev.
Why would
and
you
Rus.
choose a sunken ship, you idiot? Well, we got one good one.
Don't pull the plug! So he made his way back to Kiev and Rus, if you remember that. To put it short, Harold at this point was a rich son of a bitch, and this impressed Yaroslav, so he decided to give him Elisiv's hand in marriage, despite him not being a prince. He then decided to make his return to Norway via Novgorod, or Holmgard in old Yield thing, and Staraya Ladoga, which I said in the Old Norse one earlier. You can go and rewind it. I'm not doing it again. From Ladoga port, he took a ship filled with treasure and arrived in Sigtuna.
This one's mine.
This one won't sink. You take the other ones that are sinking. You can probably get halfway. And he returned to Sigtuna, Sweden in 1046. With the jump in time, things had changed in this part of the world. Canute and his sons had perished, and the crown was passed back to Olaf's bloodline. Magnus the Good was now king.
It's all covered in blood.
Magnum the Good.
Magnum do good?
Olaf's bastard son, apparently.
Fucking.
Now, isn't that a happy ending, returning to family being in charge? But apparently not for Harold, who challenged Magnus and made his alliance with the Swedish king, Anud Jacob.
A nude Jacob?
A nude Jacob. He was never clothed.
I'm never clothed.
Are you Bulgarian? Harold decided.
Harold rubbed off on me.
Now we've got a naked Harold as well. Harold decided to pull the old sea hit and run, lightning raids, which they're more commonly known as, on Magnus's.
How the fuck did he get lightning?
On Magnus's Denmark, because, just to add a little bit of context, he owned both. He owned both Norway and Denmark.
Yes, there was an offer on.
Yes, I could have bought Stonehenge, but I decided that Denmark was a bigger investment.
Some guy named Cecil.
Asshole.
Bit of a flake.
I will be bringing my power of Norway to his front door. So yeah, by docking, fucking shit up, and then leaving super quick. So it was hard. It was hard to hit back.
The story of every man.
Oh no!
I'm just going to dock here and fuck shit up.
This prompted Magnus's advisors to come up with a compromise. He would hand over Norway to Harold, keeping Denmark, and also Magnus would become the combined realm's overlord.
I was thinking more along the lines of, you die.
You can have Norway, and then I'll be super ultra Slavic god, or Nordic god tier
So I'll have
general.
I'll have the men dig a hole, and you just climb on in.
I'll use the bullet. You do the falling. All good.
I know guns aren't a thing yet. I'll just throw it really
But I'm in the
fast.
future. I can see the future. So yeah, he keeps Denmark and becomes the Combined Realms Overlord, which is still a higher rank than Harold. He accepted.
So he's disowned the Devastator title? Or has he got someone who just comes along and just announces all of his titles before he does
The King of Norway, Devastator of Bulgarians, Stabber of Eyes, Runaway era,
really hates Bulgarians.
really, really hates Bulgarians. We need to get that in there twice. This is actually all part of his name.
Master Emperor of Space and Time.
Loves the Black Sea, doesn't go on sunken ships, eats bread and has a lot of money, has beard, is Norwegian,
Norway.
and was fucked up in 1029, and is now in front of us, the king of
Who did do Battle
Kings,
of 1030.
but not the Overlord. Remember, that's in there as well. Remember,
So,
and this,
and this, all of
everything
this,
that I'm saying right now is in his title.
historically accurate.
Harold, last name
Ramus.
that I can't remember. That's his full title. So yeah, we'll write that in the description somewhere. It will be in white text, so you can't see it. He accepted, and they set up separate courts and didn't meet until 1047. Oh, well, actually, no, they didn't meet at all because in 1047 Magnus died.
All of this happened in 17 minutes.
I know, goddamn.
It took me a war just a moment ago.
The cogs were whirring then for me. Without heirs, he passed the crown on to an appointed, because he didn't like Harold, which was Sven
Yeah, it's a bit of a dick.
Estridsson. Sven. Or Swen.
Sween?
It's spelled Sweyn, but I'll just say Sven.
Swine.
Who was actually an ally of Harold in the pact with the Swedish king when he was doing the lightning raids. So that adds a little bit of a spicy little
I
context
was
to
the one what gave him the lightning.
you. I want it back. Now both Sven and Harold were battling for the Overlord status.
This is stupid.
So,
I love it though.
oh yeah, we are human.
After all.
Harold struck first by invading Denmark, but it didn't go as planned.
No, my Denmark!
But it didn't go as planned. Harold opted for the same technique he used on Magnus, and after 15 years of constant war,
Stabbed him right in the fucking eyes.
got him. Harold had the chance to take out Sven and his forces in the Battle of Nisa on the 9th of August.
The Battle of Nissan.
The Battle of Liam Neeson. On the 9th of August, 1062.
I don't know. Who
Now
you
we've gone
are.
off the clock.
I'll find you, you fuck.
Using his tactical knowledge from his previous role,
Ow! Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh!
so back when he was taking those Arabian strongholds,
Yeah.
he learnt the technique of a hail of arrows.
Okay, so like the thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll come that way.
Yes. And just takes out literally everybody. He defeated Sven's forces, while Sven managed to escape the clutches of Harold. With war a constant, Harold was not a well-liked king. So with casualties and costs of war mounting, he made a truce with Sven in 1065.
I mean, you've managed to rack up £10 in this war. 10!
10 pounds of flesh yesterday. Here he is. My son. Oh, God.
Father.
Why? So this freed up Harold to focus on one last great Viking invasion. The goal?
Stonehenge.
Yeah, England. Yeah, technically. A resource-rich isle that had been coveted by Vikings for
Want those
250
rocks
years.
back.
We never had them, but I want them now. This is going to be more complicated this time around. England was united under the Anglo-Saxon rule after Canute's son's death, and the current king, Harold with an O this time, Harold Godwinson, Harold Godwinson was born in England, was born on the English Isle. He was immensely popular. However, our Harold was not.
Right knob.
So Harold partied up with Harold's brother. Harold partied up with Harold's brother.
Harold.
Tostig Godwinson, who had been dispossessed of his earldom.
I got rid of my demons. Finally.
Thank you. I hate you. Dispossessed of his earldom by Edward the Confessor, previous to the new
I
Harold.
just can't stop confessing to everything.
God, I hate that dress. Ah!
I'm not sorry.
I confess everything.
It's awful.
God, that haircut
My
sucks.
eyes, God. Who are you, Harold?
Stop.
Jesus.
Do you like my birthday cake? I hate it. Ah! I can't stop confessing. And he was joined by the other chieftains and soldiers in Shetland and Orkney, and probably Malcolm III of Scotland, who could add 2,000 soldiers to their invasion. Malcolm in the middle, or Malcolm at the top.
Second or third? Doesn't matter. It's
Probably the
really
third.
old times.
I'll be the third. Looks better.
Because I can say like third.
Third.
Funny.
Funny. You can have 2,000, but not 3. This made Harold's invasion force around 10,000 strong. They landed at the River Trees in North England in 1066. I knew we shouldn't have taken this flying boat. And went.
Catapults. Idiot came up with catapults. We've lost half our men.
And went. Can you see the rocks from up there?
Rocks?
Yes. And then you just. That's another rock down. It's just Angry Birds, but with people. So yeah, they landed at the River Trees in North England in 1066 and went on to pillage and shit. They then began to do so on the coast. They began to do the coast shit again. They then went to Scarborough, which notoriously is on the other side, I think.
And went to the fair.
Wee! Ding, 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 ding. Like they're just like playing with swords on the other side. Ding, 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 ding. Wee! Ding, 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 ding. They're on the teacup, so every time they come around, they have to do a little battle.
Jousting each other on like the spinny horses going round.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Hopefully it doesn't end as brutally as fucking Daredevil did. Oof. That's spoilers for Daredevil. And
Spoilers for Spider-Man as well, apparently.
oh yeah.
I'll say no more. Say no more.
Say no more, say no more. That might be for one of the extra episodes that might be coming up that we may do something different with. And they torched it, defeating the pretty hefty resistance there. After this message got through, a 5,000 strong army of Anglo-Saxons from York met the Vikings in Battle of Fulford. Now, most of these battles get like mixed up with the Battle of Hastings and stuff, but these weren't that.
Hey, that stings. Ow.
Yeah, well, now give me your eyes. Thanks to the Marshland and Harold's big brain tactics, they got their first victory. Yes. I don't. It's kind of weird that they don't class Scarborough defeating the whole of Scarborough as a victory, but yeah, sure.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? No, everyone is dead there.
Oh God. This prompted the King Harold, the England King Harold, to ride in on the front lines.
Harold, Scottish.
Harold. Oh no, this is the English guy.
It is Harold. Sorry.
So hello, I'm King Harold.
Sorry,
I'm riding in.
I forget when I came into the
Oh,
story.
oh, Jesus.
There's a lot of Harolds.
There's a lot of accents under here. I'm actually from.
And surprisingly, not one Norwegian one.
I'm actually from Bulgaria.
Don't tell Harold. Which one? Oh, I forget. Just don't tell any of them.
Just don't tell anyone. Oh, I'm telling you, give me your eyes.
You fuck.
So he rode in on the front line and surprised the Vikings at Stamford Bridge. So this is the one that people mix up with the Battle of Hastings, apparently. The Vikings were described as being shocked by the arrival of the army. This was so soon after they'd just beat the 5,000. Another one.
Jesus.
This may have been because they agreed a swap of hostages. So all they expected to come over the hill were like a few hostages. But then they saw a 15,000 strong Anglo-Saxon army kitted to the nines on top of the hill instead, ready to fuck shit
See, I've
up.
got my fucking nines on.
Wait, they took that many prisoners? How big of an army did we bring? hello.
I think they're floating on the ocean.
It goes-
Jesus.
Harold just like bodges his way through like the army and goes, I smell a Bulgarian.
I think I'm in Bulgaria. Time for devastation.
Just starts swinging at his own army.
I'm Norwegian, don't you?
This was around the time the army was just winding down, so they were taking off their armor and stuff like that. Shut down. So the scattered forces of the Norwegians tried their best to get back over the bridge. I think the way that I picture this is there was a hill,
Yeah.
then a bridge, then like a battlefield, then another bridge at the back. So like there was a bridge leading towards the Norwegians and a bridge behind the Norwegians. If you can visualize that, imagine just like fucking
I'm using my mind's eye.
in Dragon Ball the Watchtower.
I see two bridges.
And they're right next to each other. Fuck! Messed it up. So yeah, there was another bridge on the other side of the battlefield with one Viking said to have stood strong on the bridge to create a bottleneck for the retreating Vikings. To which he actually managed to take out 40 of the English forces before
I'm
being
the
stabbed.
bottleneck.
Hello, you drink
Pleased
from
to
me.
meet you.
Come here, I feed you like baby bird. I don't know why I'm Russian.
Don't get too close to my sword. Oh dear.
Or you get stabbed.
Oh no, you see what you got done there. You've gone and got yourself killed there.
Well, I got 40 of them, one of you.
Apparently, I'm from Canada now.
Hello.
Oh no, I'm going all Welsh. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
This may have provided the Vikings with the necessary time to regroup. However, the English forces ended up engaging in a chaotic pushing and shoving match.
I do.
Oh, no, you stop. Oh, no, you.
But
Stop pushing. With swords and stuff as well mixed in there, for good measure. This is where Harold was said to have gone berserker mode.
Which one?
Harold.
Oh, Devastator.
Yeah, Bulgarian Devastator went berserker mode apparently, and he literally ran straight into the enemy, and
And was killed immediately.
well, no, he hacked and slashed the shit out of people.
I invented my own genre.
Oh, I love this album. That was until he got shot in the neck with an arrow, but ending the story.
I was a Devastator once until I took an arrow to the
to the neck,
to the carotid artery.
So yeah, and that ends the story of Harold Haradarada. Oh no!
Oh dear!
The last great Viking, with the Battle of Stamford Bridge apparently marking the end of the Viking era, and also marking the end of Today I Learned.
I'm not done learning.
My brain's just started getting bigger.
And 3 fake.
All right, Howard, welcome to my favorite, and I have missed this section with most of my body, apart from my kneecaps. They
can't take much more.
They just couldn't give a shit. 3 real, 3 fake. Where the premise of the game is I will give you 3 real stories and 3 fake stories, and you have to use your detective skills to figure out which one is which. You can.
I'm scruffing my beard.
Ow, my beard!
Ow.
You can play along at home if you want. If you want to, before we reveal all the answers, you can play along in the comments or wherever. You even email
Wherever
us
your voice
your answers.
may be.
Yes, just scribble it on the wall in your own shit if you need. But if you're a druid, oh, fuck knows for you, buddy.
Better carve it into Stonehenge.
Right, Howard, my first one for you is Bird of the Year controversy after contest is won by a bat.
Oh, look, I've heard about this. So unfortunately, I don't.
In the fake world or the real world?
Unfortunately, this is one of those headlines that got out away from Reddit.
Damn.
It got like, not even like, this isn't like, normally I'd get my news from podcasts, but this was like, it came up in like my news app. Like, oh, look, a bat is a bird. Bat and bird. Oh.
So you saying fake?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Real, you want to say for that
I
one?
know that one's real.
My next one is GOP congresswoman blamed wildfires on secret Jewish space laser. Real or fake?
Was this in America?
GOP congresswoman. That's all I can give you.
GOP. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's America. So possibly. I mean, the Jewish space laser doesn't need to be real. It just needs to be real that she said that. So I'm going to say true.
You're going to say true? Okay. My next one is Singapore officials have released a statement after brawl broke out in Parliament over rising price of Japanese manga. Real or fake?
That's a massive part of their economy, isn't it?
Real or fake?
They take it really seriously over there. I'm going to say real.
You're going to say real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next
That's
one.
3 reels in a row.
So all your next ones have to be fake. Florida residents have taken it upon themselves to hunt for $3 million that has allegedly been buried by Colonel Sanders before his passing. Real or fake?
I feel like I've heard something like that before, but not Colonel Sanders. Let's say fake.
I mean, you can say real.
No, I'm going to say fake because I think I've heard something about that before, but not. It wasn't Colonel Sanders. It was someone else.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Right. My next one is City pays $350,000 after suing hackers for opening Dropbox link it sent them. Real or fake?
Fuck, that one has to be real.
You saying that one's real?
People are so dumb. There's so much potential for dumb people.
But you have to say fake,
or
don't
lack
you?
of potential.
You have to say fake, though, don't you, for that one?
Real.
And my last one is an Albanian minister of health has been demoted after publicly endorsing sorcery and magic potions to battle COVID-19. Real or fake?
Feel.
Get off my leg!
Fake.
Well, you're gonna have to say fake.
Yeah.
Right, so everyone lock in your answers. Boop.
Ow.
My answer.
Oh, my answers.
I have answer.
Oh, God. Answer the balls.
All.
Answer your balls.
So, Bird of the Year controversy was real. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
that one right. The Florida residents have taken it upon themselves to hunt for the $3 million buried by Colonel Sanders before his passing. Was fake.
Oh, yeah.
The GOP congresswoman blamed wildfires on secret Jewish space laser. Real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, before I get into that, the clickbait of it is she didn't literally say the word Jewish space
My
laser.
kind of story.
But I'll get to it. Singapore officials have released a statement after brawl for the Japanese manga. Fake.
Oh.
The city pays $350,000 after suing the hackers. Was real. And last but not least, an Albanian minister of health being demoted for sorcery and magic potion endorsement was fake. It was fake in Albania, but it was real in Sri Lanka.
Of course.
I just changed the country. So
And did you also change the Colonel Sanders one?
no, that one I just made up.
Okay, there was some rich dude who sent people. There was basically like, I need to find the story again. He basically hid the prize somewhere and gave out cryptic clues, and apparently a few people died trying to get it.
Was that the one that we spoke about before?
Was that the one we spoke about? Is
I
that,
think-
is that the podcast where I heard this story?
Oh, I was on that one.
Well, I'll be on that podcast.
Right, we'll start off with the Bird of the Year controversy. An election that was run by Forrest and Bird. This year they decided to throw in the bat into the mix, which is a Pekka
Turns out to be a bad decision to just throw bats around.
Pekka Tau Rao.
What'd you call me?
You heard me. Or long-tailed bat. This species is one of only 2 bats in the country, which the other one is the lesser short-tailed bat, and is classified as one of the rarest mammals in the world. And it's also tiny. It's about the size of your thumb. unless you're Shaq and have like abnormally large thumbs, then it is relatively the size of your thumb. And I think it said something like it's the size of a bee when it's born or something. So it is
Cool little fella.
tiny. So on Halloween night, the voting closed. Then on Monday, Forest and Birds, Lizzie, Fenka Heather, which is a double-barreled name, announced our little friend as the winner. Do you want to hazard a guess of how many votes came in overall for this? It's worldwide, so I'll let you have a guess. Please don't overshoot this, because it's
69,000.
58,000. Pretty close. Highest number of votes in the competition's 17-year history. I wonder why. I want to guess how many our friend won by?
40,000.
4,000. Oh, 3,000, sorry.
Oh.
And that's because the Minister of Health had endorsed the Bats campaign. So we got a little bit of a boost from the Minister
He's a
of
good
Health.
guy.
He's a bat.
He's not a vigilante.
Sweet.
Oh, you are.
So Lizzie was asked the most important question. Was it a stunt? To which she
No,
replied...
it's a bat.
You idiot.
Fucking moron.
You voted for the ramp. You fucking moron. The one I'll never forget, the moron that I'll never forget, is the one where, do you remember in the Star Wars movie theater where somebody had the flash on and the guy's like, turn the flash off, fucking moron. Yeah. That's my favourite moron ever. So she said, no, bets on New Zealand's only native mammal. No, I'm not going to do that. No. No. Bets on New Zealand's only native land mammal, and they are classified as nationally critical. They face a lot of the same threat. What happened to your voice? They face a lot of the same threats that our native birds do. So this year, we thought we'll try and get more people aware of that. So they just wanted to raise awareness for this pretty much endangered species. So coming in second place was last year's champion, the Kakapoo, also known as the owl parrot.
5 years old, I swear.
A flightless...
Kaki poo poo. Lol.
Pee-pee.
You were pee-pee poo poo.
A flightless nocturnal land bird. Third place went to the Titipunamu, Ponamu, or New Zealand wrens, also known as riflemen, which is a small insectivorous passerine bird that is endemic to New Zealand. It belongs to the family.
It belongs to the family.
Today. Acanthicidae, something like that.
He's part of the family.
You come to my daughter's award ceremony.
Board's award ceremony?
And you ask me for seed. Fourth place went to K.
In the tits.
Titapook, to be
in the Titipakooks.
the Titipoudnamu, to be specific. Fourth place went to K, a large parrot to the family of Nestoridae, found in the forested and alpine regions of the South Island of New Zealand, who are also known for attacking cars and destroying cars, apparently.
Dicks, then.
Yeah, dickheads.
By occupation, thank you.
It's a nice looking car you have there. Would be a shame if I were to...
I'm a crazy bird!
Get out! This is mine now! Grand Theft Parrot.
How do you drive this, you fuck?
I'll just destroy it. Yeah, I don't want to imagine that he's just dive bombing the cars. I want to imagine that he literally pulls the person out and just steals
kicks
it.
The shit out of him.
Get out! And lastly, in fifth place came the Anipodine albatross, which is a large seabird in the albatross family. Now, this being the internet, to no one's surprise, there was a bit of an uproar on Twitter on both sides, with Greeny Memes tweeting, "Holy shit!" All caps for this one, by the way. "Holy shit! Good news, folks. Peka Peka Taurau is crowned Bird of the Year. We did it, comrades. Team Peka Peka."
Third year in a row. Silly name.
I love it. And Charlize Erica tweeted, "No! The Peka Peka!"
That's not a bird.
In brackets.
It's a bat.
It's a bat bird. In brackets. long-tailed bat. One bird of the year! I genuinely yelled out loud like Luke finding out who his father was.
I killed myself.
I jumped off a huge Death Star. This will not stand. This election was stolen. The winner can only be Kereru. Hashtag bird of the year. And Short Casserole tweeted, there's really nothing more New Zealand than having a heated bird of the year comp every year, putting a bat in the comp, which is not a bird, but does fly so close enough, I guess. Which does fly so close enough, I guess.
Said a bird.
And
bees.
see, everybody voting for the not bird. Looking forward to next year when the Tuatara takes the win, which is a lizard, who is part of the distinct lineage.
A flying lizard, though, right?
No.
No? Oh.
A land lizard. As lizards are.
Lazy land lizard.
Which is part of a distinct lineage, the order Rhinocerophalia.
Fully aware that I'm doing an Australian accent and not a New Zealand one, but I have to try really hard to do a New Zealand accent.
How do we trudge on?
It hurts. I have to just copy Taika Waititi.
Yeah, true.
It's the only one I know.
Now, you may think this was the biggest controversy of this award show, but you are wrong. And I am right. In 2019, there were accusations of election meddling after hundreds of votes came in from... Do you want to guess what country they came in from? Of course, it was Russia.
Kazakhstan.
Yes, Kazakhstan, Russia.
Totally a real country.
In 2018, they had 300 fraudulent votes that were cast in online ballots by Australians attempting to rig it so the shag could win, which is a bird. Which is...
Let's.
I stand behind that one. Get the shake to the top. I love it. Right, our next real one is the GOP congresswoman who blamed wildfires on secret Jewish space laser, which, again, she didn't actually say the word Jewish space laser, secret Jewish space laser. She just said out in the open Jewish space laser. Conservative Party member Marjorie Taylor Greene, representing Georgia. She happens to be a bit controversial before this, with takes such as, thank you to Jonathan Chait for compiling these in the article. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Many kisses to you. You can send them back if you don't want them.
Tuck you in.
You can get your little feet there.
Very nice.
Here's a little Jewish space laser for you. Merry Christmas. She said the QAnon conspiracy theory is worth listening to. And if you don't know the QAnon
which is an oxymoron in itself.
It's which the QAnon theory holds that Donald Trump is secretly fighting a worldwide child sex slavery ring.
Well, see, I love conspiracy theories, but when it comes to QAnon conspiracy theories, they're just batshit stupid. There's some really good conspiracy theory. You don't have to go to QAnon to find a good conspiracy theory.
How else are you going to describe Donald Trump being really sleazy and hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein and going to his island and things like that, and definitely not being involved in any child shit? He was there undercover.
Of course, for the government.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Trump.
So he's supposed to be like, you know, tackling this child sex slavery ring that was supposed to culminate in the mass arrest of his political opposition. That totally happened. And also, JF Kennedy Jr. was supposed to arrive after being dead for so many years, and it's interesting.
I did briefly hear about that. Yeah, people turned up expecting John F. Kennedy to just like be resurrected or something.
Delicious. Oh, the articles.
When I consider America, sometimes I'm just like they're so in the past. Like they called fucking like places like the Middle East barbaric, and they're literally like superstitious just to the nines.
When do we get to kill people? That's what I want to know.
Fucking barbarians.
She also said Muslims don't belong in government. 9/11 was an inside job. You got to get the classics in there, dude.
Oh yeah.
Shooting at Parkland, Sandy Hook, and Las Vegas were staged. Zionist supremacists are secretly masterminding Muslim immigration to Europe in a scheme to outbreed white people.
Yep. I mean, it's all true, Alex. All of it.
Leading Democrats officially should be executed, and that is just to name a few. So she's right on like 90% of those. She's
like at least like mostly wrong.
Yes. How is she Congresswoman?
She puts on clothes in the morning, so she's doing something right.
She brushes her teeth at least a day. So this comes from a Facebook post made 2 years ago. Right, it's not really up to date. Nothing in this podcast is up to date. Get used to it. We're behind the times. We're old. We're clueless.
How?
So this is her. I'll read the whole fucking post because as there are over 70 people confirmed dead and over 1,000 missing, the fires in CA are a horrific tragedy. I'm praying for all involved. That's probably not how George. I'm posting this in speculation because there are too many coincidences to ignore.
Too many coinkydinks. Thank you very much, sir.
And just putting it out there from some research I've done stemming from my curiosity over PG and E stocks, which tanked all week, then rallied Thursday night after CA officially announced they would not let PG and E fail. I find it very interesting that Roger Kimmel, on the board of directors of PG&E, is also vice chairman of Rothschild Inc., international investment banking firm. I also find interesting the long history of financial contributions the PG&E has made to Jerry Brown over the years and millions spent in lobbying. What a coincidence it must be that Governor Brown signed a bill in September 2018 protecting PG&E and allowing PG&E to pass off its cost of fire responsibility to its customers in rate hikes. And through bonds, it also must be just a coincidence that the fires are burning in the same projected areas that the $77 billion high-speed rail project is to be built, which also happens to be Governor Brown's pet project. And what are the odds that Feinstein's husband, Richard Blum, is the contractor to the rail project? Jeez, with that much money, we could build 3 U.S. southern border walls. Then
one on top of the other.
Make it really hard. Then, oddly, there are all these people who have said they saw what looked like lasers or blue beams of light causing the fires. The pictures and videos, I don't know anything about that, but I do find it really curious. PG&E's chairman or partnership
is made of lasers.
Partnership with Solarian on space solar generators starting in 2009. They announced the launch into space in March 2018 and maybe even put them up before that. Space solar generators collect the sun's energy and then beam it back to Earth to a transmitter to convert to electricity. The idea is clean energy to replace coal and oil. If they are beaming the sun's energy back to Earth, I'm sure they wouldn't ever miss a transmitter receiving station, right?
I mean, that's... there is actually...
I thought you were reading on then, because she literally goes, I mean.
There's actually, not to give her credence, but there... So one of the, basically, as civilizations get more advanced, they gather their energy from different places. And
they require more energy.
Yeah, and, it's where you get your source of energy from as well. So, a class 4 civilization is, I can't remember what it is, gathers all the energy from the solar system or whatever and uses it to its advantage.
Yes.
So, to get to, a class 1 or 2 or something like that, you need to harness the sun's energy, but, you use it consistently. So, you basically get all your energy from the sun.
Yes.
And one of the ways that they actually, so this is actually I don't know what you want to call it, trademarked scientific papers, patented idea was to actually put something in space that literally absorbs sunlight and fires it down to the Earth into a giant
my mouth,
into a giant receiver dish that would literally receive direct energy from the sun and power cities. Yeah. The idea being you could get rid, you don't need solar, you just blast the energy straight into the atmosphere.
Hell yeah. So yeah,
that's. But you could have literally just seen a documentary or a news piece on that and then gone, they've done it! They put space lasers! The crazy motherfuckers!
She goes on saying...
From my understanding, it was years away from us ever doing anything like that.
Probably. She said, I mean, mistakes are never made when anything new is invented. What would that look like anyway? A laser beam or light beam coming down to Earth, I guess. Could that cause a fire? I don't know. I hope not. That wouldn't look so good for PG&E, Rothschild Inc., Solarian, or Jerry Brown, who sure does seem fond of PG&E.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Rothschild either, but there's a lot there with the whole like Rothschild family of fortune and all that shit. But at the same time, they've got to do something with their money.
Yeah.
They've got to put it somewhere. They can't just sit there and go, we can't give anyone any money, otherwise the conspiracy theorists will go insane.
Not gonna lie, I kind of like the idea of them doing space lasers rather than fucking Squid Game. So
Yeah. I mean, the idea, if what she's explaining is true, they don't fire the laser directly at Earth. That's a waste of the energy. You'd fire it to a receiver.
yeah,
You wouldn't just blast it into the like.
yeah.
into
Maybe the receivers
dust.
are the trees.
Yeah.
You never know. Good thing the Solarian that Michael Peavy is on their board, since he is a former president of California Public Utilities Commission, California's most powerful energy regulator agency.
Let's.
Great connections right there. Also, I will say whoever was able to buy the PG&E stocks at the bottom before that announcement was made when stocks rallied. Sure did well on their investment. I wonder how you get privy to that kind of info. She's got one of
She
those.
scruffed a beard.
She's got one of those scruffing the beard emojis. You must have to know someone, right? Seems like there's a lot of connected people in this crowd.
People don't just know people.
And with these space solar generators, I really hope they have very good aim beaming the sun's power down to Earth. But what do I know? I just like to
Never
read a
ask
lot.
that when you're going crazy on a run. What do I know? Oh, love.
But,
Oh.
but granted, I will give her that. It was more of a clickbait headline than a actual. She was just going, "Do space lasers."
Yeah, like I totally get like it's not completely far fetched what she's talking about. The technology, like it's something that we've literally planned.
And it sounds super fucking cool.
Yeah. It's like the idea is like really good. The only I think the main issue is how much damage does that do to the ozone layer, just blasting fucking gamma radiation.
Yeah,
through
you
the
just
atmosphere.
blasting a hole through the.
I
yeah,
assume
that's
maybe
fine.
that they would filter out like certain radiation and just beam photon energy. I don't know.
People who are smarter than me can figure that shit out, dude.
Smart people to
I'll
do
sit here and play dreams and just go, "Yay, energy!"
because photons could pass through without doing any damage. But I don't know how much energy photons have, or photons are just. I don't know. I don't know how you'd do that.
Email in if you know how. We will try and understand what you mean. Right, so our last one is City pays $350,000 after suing hackers for opening Dropbox. Link it sent them. I've struggled all week saying Dropbox because
Dropbox.
Drugbox.
Duck.
So this is set. We're back in California. So this is set in Fullerton, California, where Joshua Ferguson and David Curley started a local blog covering the city's government called Friends of Fullerton's Future, or Friends for Fullerton's Future.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. They would frequently ask for public. They would frequently get public record requests, and so they'd email the city, and the city would go ugh, and like send them a file.
Fine.
And the city would use Dropbox to send them the large. This is not a sponsor, by the way.
Boxed you the file.
Although
Did you
Dropbox.
get my box? Did you get my bar?
I think I may have emailed the wrong person. Oh, this doesn't say Fullerton City. This says Fullerton City.
Oh, Fullerton City.
Gotcha. I'll
Good
take it.
old Fullerton City.
I'll take those asshole pictures, though, man. Come on. But yeah, as I say, this is not a Dropbox sponsor. I'm not saying it for like emphasis. Although
I'm
Dropbox,
not saying it at all.
If you, I'm saying,
I'm saying
but Dropbox, if you want to sponsor us, thank you. So, and the city would use Dropbox to send them the large files that they requested. On June 6, 2019, the pair requested records related to police misconduct. They received a zip file that was password protected, as usual. But this time, or I don't know if they usually get one that's password protected actually, but this time they were also sent a link to the Outbox shared folder, which contained potential record requests that hadn't been reviewed yet by the city attorney.
So that's a their bad. That's
Yeah.
a you problem, not
Yes.
a me problem.
Oh, yes. And the best part, Howard, no passwords, baby! Well, on 5 of the 19
They were
folders.
password protected by nothing.
Just 5 of the 19 folders were not password protected. But still, file folders are their passwords, baby. After downloading both sets of folders, they went through the unprotected ones, which contained emails relating to police internal investigations and insurance claims involving crashes involving an alleged drunk city employee.
Nice.
After being given this gold mine, they posted about them with the documents as source material. All was looking good until the city filed not one, but 2 cease and desist letters to the pair. Now, I read that as if they sent them both 2 each, but I think it's just the one got one, the one got the other.
if you're getting a freedom of information thing, and you get sent something, whether they meant to intended to send it you or not, once that's been made, that's then public information. So a cease and desist shouldn't mean anything to a court. Shouldn't.
Yes. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Then in October 2019, the city filed a restraining order asking for them to stop publishing the documents. Also asking that the documents be returned and a forensic firm search the bloggers' computers to, rid them of the public files that they gained. In November 2019, the city... never mind. I do actually need to read that. In November 2019, the city filed a lawsuit against them, alleging violations of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act and California's Comprehensive Computer Data Access and Fraud Act.
You clicked the link we sent you. You weren't supposed to do that.
How can I read that perfectly? But I read John Smith and I go...
Dropbox.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to open that link we sent you that we gave you. You weren't supposed to do that, but you didn't tell me to.
We could have just made the folder private at any time, but we didn't. We sent you the link, and then we were totally okay with it until we weren't.
See you in court.
Asshole.
An Orange County judge granted the restraining order, which was later overturned by the California Appellate Court. So, an appellate court, commonly called a court of appeals or appeal... or appeal court, court of appeal, court of second instance, or second instance court, is any court of law that is empowered to hear an appeal of a trial court or other lower tribunal. Because the American legal system is super fucking complicated. Months later, the city tried and failed yet again to block publication. But don't worry, the bloggers weren't alone. Avengers music plays.
Dun, 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 dun.
In stepped in. In stepped in the Electronic Frontier Foundation and Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, who are on their side.
Yeah, baby.
So basically, Doctor Strange and Wong, as they field amicus briefs supporting the bloggers.
Fill your brief, dude.
I think as they filed, I think that's meant to say instead of field. As they filed an amicus brief supporting the bloggers. An amicus curiae, literally meaning friend of the court, often refers to an amicus brief is defined as the legal brief where someone who is not a party to a case assists the court by offering information, expertise, or insight. Oh, that's how it killed himself. Right, I wonder what kind of court process I need to go through for that. Or insight that has bearing on the issue in the case. Basically, it's like, we're really not part of this, but we want to be. So here's a brief. So basically, like tapping in the WWE or swap it out in a fighting game like Mortal Kombat. Except they don't swap. They just get on the corner ring and just get ready to jump. So, in the EFF brief, so that's the Electronic Frontier Federation.
FFF brief.
The F brief. They said the city's interpretation would permit public officials to decide, after making records publicly available online through their own fault or otherwise, that accessing those records was illegal. The city proposes that journalists pursuing a website used to disclose public record must guess whether particular documents are intended for them or not. Intuit the city's intentions in posting these documents and then politely look the other way or be criminally liable. This went on for quite some time, but in the end, May 2021...
That's just them going, we're making up rules after the fact.
It happens.
Basically.
The council voted 3-2 to settle the suit. They will now pay $230,000 in attorney costs and $60,000 each in damages. and they have to post an apology on their website. They have to do like a Travis Scott apology, kind of in black and white, and be like, "Oh, we're really sorry." That's gonna be like the head of California has to do that, and everyone has to do a subsequent one, and they'll just do like, do you remember Gal Gadot? Well, do you remember Gal Gadot at the start of the lockdown where she sang that song? They're gonna do that, but with the apology. So every word is just a new like city employee just going like saying another word on the apology. A really convoluted way of sending an apology video, anyway. But Howard, that is our 3 real, 3 fake.
3 real,
you did pretty well. You got
I
2, I think.
I got 2 out of the 3.
Well fucking done.
It was big 3.
Well, now we're going to move on to people who fucked up way worse than you.
Fucking idiots.
In Today I Fucked Up.
Today I fucked up.
And we're back.
Hi.
It's like we never left. Now we're moving on to our final section of the episode, where like we've given your brains nutrition with knowledge, and now we're about to ruin it with some terrible stories. Not terrible, but
devastating,
especially to Bulgarians. Goddamn.
Goddamn Bulgaria.
The first one I've got for you, Howard, is Today I Fucked Up by getting a little too heated on Facebook.
Oh.
This all started earlier tonight. Not really, but that's when this was posted. This all started earlier tonight. Oh, by the way, links. I didn't mention this at any point in the podcast, but links to literally everything are in the description down below. You know the deal by now. Unless you don't, then
get out of here.
Maybe you do. Right, today I fucked up again, a little too heated on Facebook. This all started earlier tonight when I replied to one of his posts, calling him out for frequently lying, as so many politicians are wont to do. What?
I want
to do. And capping it off by calling him a traitor.
Fucking traitor. Told him.
We then had a brief back and forth, and he laid down the challenge. Right, I need to check, actually. Let me check this link, because it may have mentioned...
He laid us down a smackdown.
I'll kill you, dude. That's literally what he said. He just,
oh, really? Well, I'll kill you.
I've literally got guns. I am the army.
I'm a real asshole.
Oh, right, yeah. Actually, in the actual like post, they don't mention who they're talking about at the start, so I
Not
guess...
a clue.
I guess we'll...
Maybe?
I guess we'll find out at some point down the line in the story that I'm getting back to, because I opened Reddit and now I'm going down the list of
Jay.
the things. I'm not rereading that.
Done.
He laid down the challenge. He wants us to go at each other in a ring or in a dojo.
Oh, hey there, whoa there, hey there, what the hey there,
Stop going at me. I told him to message me. So what the title of this Today I Fucked Up really was angering a congressman. So this is like a high up like person in...
I got a little heated on Facebook.
I told him...
And now I'm in a wrestling match in the WWE.
I told him to message me before he gets here so we can actually make this happen. So when he comes to like his state. I'm not
told
sure
him.
I'm not sure if I'm in over my head or not, but I'm not about to back down. I have a surface level amount of training from my time in the infantry and in law enforcement, but he has a similar background. Why I highly doubt he will follow through. I better start legitimately training just in case. Never in a million years did I think he'd respond, let alone challenge me to an actual fisticuffs like we're in the 1800s. But here we are. I can provide redacted screenshots in the comments for proof if mods allow it. I can provide them with screenshots if they want to verify, which actually I will verify. Most of these stories I don't read anymore, straight up, because I want to read them verbatim. Right.
I don't do that.
Does he actually? Right, he said, well, this blow up just woke up. I will read through all the comments as times go on.
This guy's a real scatterbrain.
So he says in the post, here's a quick update. I have had a couple of PR folk and trainers reach out to me, and we will see where all of this goes. Realistically, I suspect Clay, so Clay is their name, will continue to ignore all this, as numerous people mention this in his MO. And apparently, this isn't his first time challenging people to a fight on social media. But I will train anyway, as it'll be fun and good for me. For those who were wondering, I was a Republican until around 2012, when I shifted left of center a bit and had an independent and became an
All right,
independent.
so that's like your opinion, right? So you want to you put your fists up there?
So we shall come back to that at some point if that fight actually ever happened. So Clay, congressman of
If that
someone...
happens in this video footage, we're gonna mute it and we're gonna do the announce. We're gonna do like the running commentary.
We're going to do the commentary. We're also going to do the sound effects. We're going to do the sound effects afterwards.
Yeah, we'll do the voices of the fighters as well.
Yeah. Oh, that would be brilliant. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, my next one is today I fucked up by not chewing enough. This happened last night. A lot of these are happening yesterday.
Last night specifically.
Yeah, last night. All of these. Oh my god, maybe this is the congressman.
Whoa.
My wife wasn't feeling very well, and I was.
So I got her in the ring, right?
So I put her in the ring with Clay. Fucked her up. And I was tasked to make dinner. I made a nice penne pasta with sausage, which I inhaled.
Oh, that's a whole sausage.
Oh god. It was delicious. Right after dinner, I started to have horrible lower back pain to the point of on the ground writhing and nausea, which only progressed worse and worse. At this point, I had a feeling it was another kidney stone, as I've had them in the past. My wife drives me to the hospital and I limp in excruciating pain.
I've got to stop eating stones.
And sausages. Oh no, my two favorite foods. I check in, the nurse gets my vitals, and then I waited for them to take me back to get a CT. At which point, I started vomiting from the nausea in the lobby, in front of everybody, and falling to the ground because it hurt so bad. Think hot serrated knife in your back, combined with the feeling of having your testicle in a vice.
Sounds like a Tuesday.
They finally got
I
me.
don't know why I've got all this accent over here.
But I like to clap my balls.
I'll do that for $1.
People paint water pictures. I clamp my balls. Each to your own, whatever floats your boat. Oh,
Happy little trees.
oh God! They finally got me back to the room in the ER, and the nurse, the nurse practitioner (NP) that was on came in and confirmed that what I had thought. It was a stone, but it was stuck mid-left utera.
The story is hurting my balls.
The stone was about 4.5 to 5 millimeters, and for reference, the human utera is about 5 millimeters in diameter, so a tight fit. She left to go order my meds. The nurse and her nursing student came in, and I got an IV catheter placed. Anesthesia and pain meds on board.
Anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
Hello, Anastasia. Anesthesia.
I'll take that anesthesia. My balls.
Nice to meet you, Anastasia.
My balls.
What is this? Some kind of a comedy movie?
My balls.
Oh, it's like they're in a vase here.
Which helped bring my pain down from a 10 to about an 8. About 20 minutes later, the pain finally went away, completely away. So we speculate that the stone pushed its way through and finally dropped in my bladder. Now, here is where the fuck up happened. When the NP came back in, she had a very concerned look on her face. There are some concerning things on your CT scan, and I'm just going to come right out and ask. Do you do drugs? I told her, no, I don't. To which she replied, when I ate last.
Dropbox.
You know the dreams where you do the dreams and you do the dreams.
And you told no one else?
Just when I ate last. I replied about an hour prior to coming to the hospital. And then I made penne pasta. I asked if she wanted some. I threw up in my hand and gave it to no. She stared in disbelief. Come to find out, the radiologist that read my CT was concerned that I was a drug mule. Apparently, if you don't chew your penne pasta all the way, the shapes and gas patterns they produce look very similar to a bag of drugs.
Oh.
I told the nurse, so there's a good tip out there for any drug smugglers. Eat penne pasta. And then it'll
Put
cover
all
up
the
your tracks.
drugs in some penne pasta and eat it up your asshole.
Yeah, you don't eat it through your mouth. You got to eat it up your
Yeah,
asshole
put
so
it
it
up
comes
your
back
butt.
out the front. I told the nurse practitioner that it wasn't a drug mule, but rather a penne mule. To which she started to crack up laughing.
I'm like some kind of pasta horse.
I eat
don't know what to tell
pasta and I go...
you. Sorry, pasta.
Sorry,
Wrong.
pasta.
Pasta.
I also put
Pasta
I put the drugs in the pasta.
And then I put it up my asta.
I got in trouble for eating the last pasta. He was a really nice guy.
Oh!
Oh, I got him. Now give me your leg.
Give it.
she left the room laughing, and I could hear my nurse and a few of the other nurses start to crack up. The nurse practitioner came back in and said that she had to go and tell the radiologist that it was in fact pasta and not drugs.
It's in fact pasta. Shut up, you fool. It's drugs.
He got fired the same day. No, the radiologist also started to crack up laughing, and everyone clapped. All in all,
I totally got away with all the drugs.
Yeah. What happened to the fucking stone?
I assume it was just gas, and she passed it eventually.
It was just a penne pasta.
Like really bad, yeah.
I was able to urinate after the pain went away. No fever or bacteria in my urine sample. And since the stone finally left my urethra.
Oh no, so it wasn't.
Oh wait, urethra. Sorry, why am I reading it? Urethra. I wasn't in pain
In
anymore.
your urethra.
So I got to go home. The nurse practitioner was even joking about putting "make sure you chew your food thoroughly" on my discharge instructions. And if you want to see, I need to get. I mentioned this like in the intermission, but I need to get a link for this. I will definitely get a link for this.
When I see something fucked up.
There are pictures of the CT scan if you are so inclined to read those. Right, we move on to our next one.
I am the narrator now.
That our very own Howard shall read, which is...
Is this the 12 years one?
That is right.
Okay. Today I fucked up by being British for 12 years.
Same, bro.
Only 12.
Fucking same.
I used to be Norwegian. My name was Harold.
I died by an arrow to the throat, wink wink.
Luckily, I got to devastate a few countries on the way.
Luckily, my hatred for Bulgarians got me through.
Okay. This happened in high school at a summer band camp. I did not know anyone at this camp, and I had flew in from out of state.
Far out of state.
So far out of state, I was completely out of line.
I was completely British.
When I left the airport, my best friend called me, and we were talking.
I should hope so, rather than just be...
Dude!
Hello?
Hello? Dude! Hello? This is creepy now. Oh, it's just that girl from The Ring or something.
Oh, it's that British guy.
Always breathes through his ears. I had an inside joke with my best friend where we would just talk to each other in a random accent for no reason. I have no idea how that would feel.
Oh god, that's so dumb. Why would anyone do that?
Oh, random accents, yeah. Yeah, why would anyone ever do that without recording
I have
it?
no idea, Howard. It does not make sense to me.
Whoop, I accidentally clicked the thing.
It's very annoying that, like...
Yeah. Doodly doodly do. This time, I was talking to her in a British accent.
You alright, mate? You want to... Come to Smithy Bill, we'll fucking break your legs.
You alright? I'm British.
My name's Danny
This
G.
is my British accent.
You want a bottle of water?
I fucking... Americans are so happy when they do this voice. They really think it sounds British.
Oh, Chippy.
Oh, you got a license for that.
That's my favourite British joke ever. I caught a fish. You got a license for that, mate?
Well, you got a license for
Comes
that,
out the
mate.
river.
I love Americans when they try to do a British accent. It's so sweet.
It's so good. If you would like to send clips of you doing a British accent to the Clueless Internet
Give it a shot.
podcast, there will be a link. There will be a shout out to our email later on in the show.
A shout out?
Stay tuned.
A
shout out to
for you,
the
just for you, man.
for the podcast email.
This time I was talking in a British accent. Little did I know that a group of people from my summer camp were standing right next to me, waiting for the camp's bus to pick us up.
Oh no!
Beep beep. I am the boost.
Hello, bus. That one's got the wheels.
I get off the phone, and one of them asks if I'm here for camp too, and I say yes. He then asks me where I'm from, and tells me that my accent is so cute.
Do you do that one all the time?
Oh, he's so British!
That's how I imagine it going. Yeah. Your accent's lovely. Oh, best friend.
Ooh, best friend. Oh no, I'm never going to get to this. I had really bad anxiety in high school, and in my anxious mind, I thought that this dude would think I'm weird for faking an accent. He was also cute, which made me like totally more nervous.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I am so British. That's on it.
We do such a good British accent, me and you. We should get married.
Yeah. At the chapel.
That's that. No, that was too close to natural British accent.
Damn it.
You gotta fuck it up a little bit, like this.
We're going to the chapel, mate.
License.
At the Tesco. I love it. That's exactly how we sound.
Oh yeah, so he'd asked, and I totally panicked, and I said England. Then he asked me what part. I said London. Then, thinking he'd ask if I flew from abroad, I said I was raised in London, and then I moved to the US.
I flied using Ryanair.
That was where the lies started, but not where they ended.
They ended back in London, where I was looking for my family.
We've gone too good again. It's too.
Yeah, goddamn
I
it.
just said like a fucking James Acast. Really? Do. I wish I was as good as a podcast for James Acast. The entire bus ride to the camp, this guy was talking to me about British TV shows like Doctor Who, and I kept faking the accent. So, when we get to the camp, and by now I'm thinking, I have to come clean and say it was just a bad joke. But for some reason, my anxiety is going, no, don't do that. It's too late. You are British now.
Don't be stupid and live 12 years as a British person. That's the easier option than fessing up to a fake
Be
accent.
British for 12 years, you fucking idiot.
It's clearly the easier option.
I mean, that's what a British person would do.
That's what a British person would do.
Oh! I don't know why that gets me every time.
It's so good.
Everyone in the bus had heard my accent and me talking about how much I love Doctor Who and the London Theatre. Never been. So for the entire 2 months of this camp, I pretended to be British. I even watched YouTube videos on how to fake a better accent and words to say to sound more British. That's just learning an accent. That's learning a dialect.
She just watched KSI on repeat. Oh,
I'm a roadman now.
Give me your lunch money, bruv.
That guy and I became friends, and we kept in touch. I never came clean. It's been 12 years now. For a while, we kept in touch a lot, and I would FaceTime, and I'd fake the accent. We aren't as close anymore, but we still talk over Snapchat sometimes, and whenever I send him a Snapchat, when I'm talking, I have to fake the accent.
Jesus, man, that is a tall fucking order.
At this point, I think I'm stuck being British forever.
I'm even typing this on a British keyboard. Layout.
I've got these British implants in my fingers.
Yeah, I've also got British toes installed.
Let's. He can never meet my friends or family. He lives in a different state, but if he ever visits where I live, I guess I'm going to fake the accent. I wish I'd never faked the accent.
How are you going to fake your parents' accent, though?
The end of my story.
Hello and welcome to our home. It's lovely to have you here.
This is my mum. She's had a brain injury, so she says like she's American.
She's also really stupid. So, ignore her.
She's right, Mom.
I'm putting her under the stairs. I love that. That's so good. I'm British now. Also sharp and going on the stairs, mum. You silly slag. Right, and our last but not least story. It definitely isn't the least because it's the longest. Is today I fucked up by starting a legend. Also, can I mention again? I didn't mention at the start of the podcast, but I'll mention it now because I'm thinking of it. My brain just whizzed it past of my mental view. Is that all of the today I learned ones were to do with coming back to something as we have come back to the podcast.
As we are returning.
As we have came back.
All over all over your face.
All over the internet.
In your ears.
And I tried to... in your eyes.
Got a bit in your eye there. Sorry about that.
And all over London.
I'll get you a
because
towel.
we're British. I can't start doing this accent now.
What is the governor?
I'm going to read this whole story like that now. It's your final countdown. But yeah, all of them were to do with coming back, and then I gave up when I got to three fake because I was ripping my hair out. But yeah, on to our last story. Today I fucked up by starting a legend. When I was a teenager, my friends and I used to hang out in this one spot in the woods to drink. We live in a small town. There wasn't exactly much to do.
Small.
It's London. No.
I can't fit on any of the doors.
They're all locked. They have water bowls. And I'm the stuff in there. On Halloween night of 2016, we dressed up to take a couple of our younger siblings trick-or-treating, then delivered them home and headed to the woods to get drunk. I was dressed as a mummy, and my friends were Woody from Toy Story, a witch, Amy Pond from Doctor Who, a pirate, and Batman.
Of course.
Once we Amy Pond was probably that British person who the quote unquote British person. Once we'd got
Hello, I'm Amy Pond.
I'm Amy Pond and I come from
London chips. What?
London is my city.
Oh, I'm from London.
I'm just Tesco Aldi Asda. I'm a bus wanker. Ooh, friends. Ooh, England friends. Right, fuck. So I'm going to do that all tomorrow as well. Hello. I'm from England. Hello, friend. Once we got into our spot in the woods and started drinking, Batman revealed that he had obtained some weed. None of us, apart from Batman and Amy Pond. I like how they're actually
shit.
Where is it? Oh, it's in my hand. Oh, bro.
This is some good stuff.
Where am I?
What are you, some kind of joker?
Oh, it's Amy Pond. Oh, sorry, I thought you were Amy Pond.
Alfred?
Oh, that's a tree.
You look just like Alfred.
Good boy. Amy Pond had actually, everyone apart from Batman and Amy Pond had actually ever smoked weed before, but we decided to go for it. Try this, dude. It makes you feel like a superhero.
Here, smoke one marijuana. Alfred.
As he takes a puff, he just sort of like armbars his arm and he goes, "Gotcha, Joker." After a while of drinking and smoking weed, Woody wandered off to pee, and he quickly came back to us whisper yelling, and there were cops coming. What?
You missed the chance to say Woody went to poison the water hole.
God damn. Woody went to poison the water hole. Unfortunately, he dropped his snake in his boot and died. We rushed to put out our fire and grab our stuff, and we scattered and hid just as we heard voices and saw flashlight beams. I, as a mummy, was entirely wearing white, so I was worried about being visible, even in the pitch dark. I basically flattened myself to the ground under the thickest bush I could find, and started...
I am the ground.
And you just hear in the distance, "Hello, I am Batman." And then... "Hello, I'm Amy Pond." And you just hear it get like...
Amy Pond, I've got a license.
And then you just hear... "And I would..." And you just hear him get tackled by the police. The thickest bush I could find, and started achingly, slowly unraveling my bandages and stuffing them into my penis, into my bag. As I was doing this, I was occasionally hearing muffled giggles and rustling from my friends, who were definitely too high to take the situation seriously, as I started hearing what the cops were saying. I realized they were getting spooked by my friends' noises. Then I heard a thud. I made me pun.
Police friend! Oh!
Alfred, get back here.
Oh, you're the ground.
Oh, where is she?
I'm here.
I made me pun. Oh, god damn it. Then I heard a thud followed by a scuttling, which I later learned was Batman, who had climbed a tree.
Look how high I am, Alfred.
I'm a squirrel.
I'm Squirrel Man now.
My life is in the trees.
Alfred, get ready for a rebrand.
I'm moving to Batcave.
Oh, am I a flying squirrel? We have to try it. No.
My bones.
I'm going lightheaded from all this laughing. Then I heard a thud followed by scuttling, which I later learned was Batman, who had climbed a tree. Falling out of the tree and running to a new hiding spot. This was followed by, what was that? What the fuck was that, dude? Did you see that? That wasn't a person, man. That was a fucking shadow person or something. This apparently caused Batman, who was physically holding his nose and mouth closed to stop himself from giggling, to let out a loud snort, startling the cops. All you hear is, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It's Amy Pond! And then they just run.
Oh, where's the doctor?
Right here.
Get on the ground.
I took the opportunity to tear off my remaining bandages and sprint away, and my friends followed suit. We eventually met up, and as we were laughing about our escape, and Amy Pond was telling us who she thought the cops were based on their voices. Spoiler, they were not real cops. They were juniors at our school, and going by what I know about them now, they were probably also on something. Batman suddenly went serious and said, "Guys, I left my backpack there." His backpack, which of course had his ID in it, along with several empty beer cans and some weed. The witch, oh yeah, shit, I forgot about the witch, who was the only one of us who could drive at the time, offered to go by in the morning before school and get it. Batman mentioned that she may have to do some searching, because in his panic, he literally flung the backpack away from him.
I'll call Alfred.
He'll find it. I have Find Your iPhone on. Alfred has the iPad.
And
Bruce Wayne.
Who?
just runs off into the woods. And he wasn't sure which direction it had gone. The witch couldn't find it before school, so later Batman and I went to go and search. It was starting to get dark again when we noticed the backpack had managed to get stuck up on a tree. Nice. I went off to try and get a long stick to poke it down. Why does Batman just climb it? While Batman decided to attempt to climb the tree. Because yeah, he's got a real grappling hook. That would be amazing.
That's an awesome costume, dude. Costume.
Just chloroforms him.
Sleep. You'll find where she is.
Decided to attempt to climb the tree. Because that had gone so well last time. And then I heard approaching voices. God damn it. The guys from the night before had brought some friends. And were trying to convince them that there was definitely something creepy out there. There was one voice I recognized. My next door neighbor. And he was a bit of a dick. The last thing I wanted was for him to knock on me to my parents that I was hanging out in the woods at night instead of at my friend's house, supervised by their parents. Especially if they found Batman and decided to check in the bag and saw empty beer cans and weed. So the only solution that I, a dumbass, could think up was to sweep my long hair over my face in a bizarre homage to the Ring, let out the most unholy screech I could muster, and run towards them. Yes! This somehow worked. They ran, at least far enough away that Batman and I could get away. Batman had Batman had fallen out of the tree, broken his neck, and landed in front of them. Batman had surprisingly managed to get his backpack. A few days later, we started hearing rumors.
Excuse me, it's the backpack.
Yeah. Alfred made it for me.
I patented it.
You can see my name on the inside.
Oh God, no!
It says Bruce Wayne. Ignore that one. This is a friend's. This is a friend's backpack. Mine's in my new back cave.
This is Bruce Wayne's backpack.
Bruce Wayne. He's a real swell guy, not like Bruce Wayne.
One of the Wayans brothers.
Oh, guy, he's cool, but he's nothing like that Bruce Wayne dude. Heard he's got a massive schlong, bro. I don't know him though. Run!
Where am I?
Who am I? Not Bruce Wayne, obviously. That guy's too cool to be me. A few days later, we started to hear rumors around the school about the woods being haunted. People said that if you went there at night, you could hear the whispering and moving around of people who aren't there, and see shadowy figures moving in the corner of your eye, as well as a underdressed Batman-looking character, as well as the screaming ghost of the little girl, which is frankly offensive. I'm not that short. Apparently, they'd found bandages covered in dried blood. They were just dirty. Come on, guys. Later,
They never thought to run it they're the police. They get some forensics done on this. No, it's a ghost.
no, this was clearly Batman.
and that ghost lady.
And some fucking witch who was there for 3 seconds. And just made me Bond. Others started claiming they'd seen shadowy figures in the woods too, and even the screaming ghost. I don't know if their imagination was playing up, they were lying, or there was genuinely some people taking advantage of the ghost hype and going out and pretending to be ghosts. Probably a combination of all three. It's been 5 years, and the ghost rumors persist. It's mostly kids from that school who talk about it, and I've heard adults claim they've seen ghosts there too. My friends and I haven't had the heart to admit that what actually happened was we smoked weed, Batman climbed a tree, broke his neck on the way down, and I went, ah!
And I went,
I'm British!
oh, ghost!
The kids just
Must
run.
be from the 1800s or something.
And a little girl. What a bitch. It's like, come on, guys. My friends and I haven't had the heart to admit what actually happened. Even though we're all adults now and our parents can't yell at us for hanging out in the woods or drinking and smoking weed. It's kind of hilarious hearing people talk about the crazy stuff they'd seen in the woods, knowing it's all definitely bullshit. It makes me wonder if this is how ghost stories get started. Well, it clearly is, because you started one. A bunch of idiots messing around and spooking some people who are probably tripping, and everyone else just making stuff up, or their overactive imagination showing them what they expect to see. Did you hear that fucking door
Sorry,
just crack
ma'am, it's
then?
an excessive case of the spookums.
The door just cracked then.
Oh, ghosts everywhere. Oh,
Let me in.
oh my God.
It's me.
Bruce Man.
Barry Brain. Barry Brain.
That's it and nobody else.
This is Alfred. That was him. Oh, that was him.
Oh, Alfred.
Oh, it's me, Amy Pond. Let us in because it's really cold. My sandwiches.
Oh, my thing. My sandwiches.
Right, I think we're going clinically and saying that is the end of the return, the reunion
You fools.
podcast.
You listened to it all, you absolute fools.
You wasted.
While you've been listening, we've been robbing your house.
Yeah, say goodbye to your crypto shits. Right, thank you so much for listening, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed our return. If you have any feedback, stories, or you have any insight into anything that we talked about this episode, please don't hesitate to email us at podcast@cluelessinter.net. You can check out all the links to this episode and our socials, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Discord. Discord, you can also submit your stories, etc. They're all in the description. Or
Come and have a chatter. We'll have a natter.
you can come have a natter with us and you know, if your podcast service is terrible with the descriptions and shit, you can check them all out at cluelessinter.net. If you really enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving us a review on whatever podcasting app you so desire to use. And again, if you really enjoy the podcast, please share it with your friends and your family, your nan, your dog, your therapist, your dentist, your ghosts, the Batman, Bruce Brain.
Bruce Man.
And we appreciate you all. Please stay safe and
Stay British!
stay British and goodbye. Fuck off, you wanker.